Oh, there we go. That's the right one. What's going on, everybody? All right. I didn't want to wait much longer. We did this last Saturday. I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing on Saturdays to do like kind of a live stream of footage of some kind. I don't know. I just kind of wanted to stream today again, and here we are. What's a Buff Daddy? Panda cheese toast. Yeah, I used to do that a lot. Yeah, I agree with that. Good choice. Jason, how's it going? The cartoon Jangular. Yes, I commissioned a friend of mine to do that a few years ago. Definitely, definitely well worth the money. Loved the cute factor of it. Lorik, love the gameplay footage. Awesome. I too enjoy it. NorCal Nerf Club, what's going on? All right, let's where's my cursor? There's my cursor. I wonder if I should make my cursor bigger so it's easier to follow. Is that easy to do? I don't know if that's easy to do. Can you easily follow my cursor for the people that are watching? Because like since I point out stuff with it a fair amount, I makes sense for it to have it be visible and trackable. Marco, how's it going? Also, I hit the low latency setting for the stream. Hopefully, it's visible. Awesome. Hopefully, that means the delay between me seeing things and showing up and all that will be not nearly as bad. It was like 30 seconds to a minute. It seemed like last time. All right, it could be a little bit bigger. Valor, what's going on? Let me see if I can tinker with that at all easily. Where are my mouse settings? I barely tinker with much anything. Apparently, mouse. There we go. Cursor size. Okay. So 1 is the smallest. 2 is, all right. That should be 3. Okay, that's annoying. That's super interesting. Okay, so no matter how big I make the cursor on my end, it stays the same size on your end. That's I'm not a fan of that. All right, that's a bummer. So I guess this is the size we have to go with. Bummer. Valor, I missed the FPT too. I missed like just getting out and nerfing and events and competing. I want more. All right, let's get into it. So this volume may be a little bit loud, a little bit quiet to start, but we will sort it out as we go. Why can I not bring this to the forefront? There we go. Start wondering who's moving their mouse. Fair enough, Panda. Okay, so we have on the left-hand side, Dirty Darts flung cheap, and the right-hand side is Beef Squad. So we got Valor. Valor is on the right-hand side, and then Dirty Darts flung dirt cheap is the Detroit Dart Club team. All right, so let's hop on in. So off the break, we have a much more aggressive move from Beef Squad with 2 people up in the middle line on the right-hand side. Third person going to take that far left cover, and a really defensive setup from Detroit with 2 players down already. They had 2 people way back in no man's land, and it's a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Beef Squad currently. Beef Squad has moved up all the way into... Well, they were in Detroit's side of mid in that angled cover piece, but they fell back towards the more middle line, which I'm not sure I agree with that decision, because you're much more protected in that angled cover piece. So I think I probably would have stuck there. So let's look at this really quick. So they've got a player right here, a player right here, player in this back piece, and a player in this back piece right here. So I feel like having this right here is just more valuable. You've got this player here to hold down this line here because they can, well, it's not as easy to peek from this left-hand side of it. Let's see how it plays out. All right, another one moving up from that back left spot into that middle beef squad side corner piece. Not a whole lot. There's a really defensive game after the break. Nobody wants to aggress. They do get that. Cybrin, we're gonna have a discussion after this stream because that's far too many zeros. But thank you. It hasn't shown up on the video stream yet, but Cybrin, you're a mad lad. Thank you so much. I definitely want to do more of these live streams. I very much enjoy doing them and talking through kind of stuff. But that's too much. Way too much. But thank you. Sorry. Cybrin, I mean, I have had Patreon has been paused for the last year plus. You just gotta accept it. I will reactivate it when I feel I am making enough content to warrant it. But thank you so much. Seriously, genuinely, thank you. I really do appreciate that. But please stop. That's enough for like a year. David, how's it going? All right, let's if I get too distracted here by the absurdity of Cybrin, let's jump back into this. As Valor is talking, who is actually in this match, this is the first competitive event that his team had played on, his team being Beef Squad here. And it's now a 3v3 after they lost their player on their back corner piece here in the middle area. Valor just went down on the back right piece. And now Detroit Dark Club has gone from a really unfavorable position to actually up 3-2 in this. And looks like they're going to make an aggressive play on this middle piece left cover. Does it pay off? It might? No. Okay. Let's hold on. Let's watch that, because like that was a very, very slow round. And then all of a sudden a lot happened. So it's a 4v3 at this point. Or no, this is a 3v3. Let's go back to the 4v3 because things change shortly after their player gets tagged, I think. Yeah, player gets tagged. You realize it's 3v3 now. They still, like, Beef Squad still has an advantageous position in this setup. They don't need to overly peak. They can hold, like, movement lines. So in this situation, this player here in the mid could watch this side. So like if this player tried to run on the outside to bunker the player on the left middle piece here, they could cover that, make the call and take the shots, where at the same time this player is covering this angle right here. I wish I had like a telestrator kind of setup so that I could draw on this while I was live streaming. That would be really, really nice. Yeah, they can cover like this area. So if this player makes moves or this player makes moves, they can see that midline across here as well. And then you've got Valor in the back here that can kind of suppress and make calls so these people don't have to peek their heads out as much and keep those kind of that crossfire angle lockdown setup. So let's see it break down here. So Valor, who tagged you, Valor? Was it Shattuck from the back here? May have been Sam right here. Either those, it looks like they were both firing it at Valor. Okay, so considering Shattuck yelled, it was probably him that got the tag. So yeah, as soon as that happens, I think this Yao makes a move right here. And unfortunately, right as he makes the move, their left mid player looks the opposite direction. Yeah, looking the opposite direction and has to move because of it. And then the mid player shifts over and tries to take this peak battle. So I would say, Valor, in your situation, so I would say this. I'll catch up with the comments about, you know, fitness and HVC as well in a second here. So Valor, you're staying up a lot more than you probably needed to. Actually, maybe you're not. Maybe it's just a good shot. I thought you were standing up more than necessary. It might have just been a good shot. Okay. So that happens. That's something that's just sometimes you peak and someone has a bead and not much you can do about it. The reaction from the rest of your team, unfortunately, just didn't pan out in that situation. So, all right. Moving on to round 2 of this match. Yeah, Cybern hoping HVC can recover. Assuming we get, you know, healthy and a working vaccine and you know, things are properly in place, I think it'll come back. It's just a matter of, you know, when, assuming again that we can manage this. Yeah, Valor, I don't think you're alone in the whole fitness thing this year. I certainly have not been as fit as I would like, so I need to do that myself. All right, off the break in round 2, we have a much more, I wouldn't say a much more aggressive, but a more aggressive approach from Detroit. Still same aggressive approach from Beef Squad. 2 people up into mid, 2 in the back right or back left, and 1 back right. And they're still playing this one kind of floating player, which is always, it's something you can do. It's something that can be viable. It's much more viable than the 2 floating in the back, I think, currently. So getting an early pick on the aggressive player and a secondary pick on that floating player is kind of from that point that while the floating player can be viable, when you're just out in the open trying to get reads, you're a target. And properly, B Squad does make a move on this, though I don't agree with this overly exposed kind of duo right here. You're just exposing too much of yourselves. All right, Valor, have a good shift at work. Thanks for popping in. And yeah, your team definitely, there's some good stuff from your team. So I'm looking forward to Beef Squad in the future. I have my Beef Squad jersey, by the way, which thank you again for that. I think that's awesome. So yeah, I want more teams to have like jerseys and all that good stuff. So yeah, have a good shift, man. We'll finish up watching this match of your team right now. So Valor does go down. So it's a 4v2 currently. Another player goes down. So it's a 3v2, right? 1, okay. So it's just kind of a okay. That was a far closer round than it needed to be. It just kind of devolved into a bunch of just trades. So this, again, this overextension, I don't like. I'm surprised neither one of you got tagged right there, but this player who is more exposed the entire time does get tagged out. They do get the immediate trade though, but right here, I feel like could have been handled better. Nicholas, after this, we finish this match, I will go over the basic rules. It's a fair point for people popping in that have not played this format. I would have grabbed the flag right here for this mid player to force the issue on this player's attention, and then had this player push all the way back to this cover instead of rushing directly at them. Because see, you're just exposed. And if you trip and fall like that, you're not in a good place. Whereas if you go to this cover piece, you have this entire cover piece exposed. He has really not any good angles. And then this person right here can stay with the flag with their attention because they have the flag. They're threatening to run it. And they can make a move and this person can cover and lock things down. Again, easier said than done in like the heat of the moment, especially, again, this is both teams' first match of the tournament. This is Beef Squad's first match playing this format in an actual match. Detroit's had some practice. So yeah. Charlie, some people just chose to not wear shoes. I mean, I wore cleats, but like, if it's comfortable, it's, you know, you do you. There's not a whole lot of like close range worry about stepping on people's feet typically, so all right, so round 3. Let's see what the breaks look like for this. Probably more conservative considering, yeah. All right, so the same break, almost the same break for Beef Squad every single time. This time, instead of stacking 2 on the back left, they've gone 1 in the back center. And instead of rushing that player to mid, Detroit has gone for their more passive setup. Again, with 2 people roaming in the back, despite the way things... Oh, they are pushing quickly off of that. And they get the Beef Squad player down in the middle early. Though 2 are traded out, so that is not a worthwhile trade. And you have an attempted move to this cover. Still, I think, playing way too far back, and they are tagged out because they are too far back, out in the open, exposed. Another trade out here. It's a 2v1, 3v1, 4v1 at this point, and they're just going for any sort of trade out, and they get the trade out. So, not the cleanest of games, but they accomplished what they needed to. And again, this was their first match playing this format, so you know, you've always got those kind of like first round jitters and stuff like that, especially when it's a new format for you. So can't be too judgy about that. All right, so for Nicholas, this format is called Ion Rush. This is a 5 versus 5 competitive format where there is a flag in the middle of the field. You can barely see it there. And each team is either trying to eliminate the opposing team or carry that flag to the opposing team's starting line. If you eliminate the opposing team, you get 1 point. If you get the flag cap, it is 2 points, and it is first to 3 points or the best after 3 rounds. So in the case of this match, there were no flag caps, so the match ended 2-1 in the favor of Beef Squad on the right-hand side. Each team has 250 darts per match. There is no picking up of darts on the field, so what you bring onto the field is what you have available. So dart distribution is important and a part of the strategy for your team. The FPS cap is 250, and the time limit for each round is 2 minutes. So you're looking at around like 6-ish minutes tops, unless you play a 4th round as like a tiebreaker round per match. Hopefully that gives a rough idea of the basics for this game type. All right, let's hop into the next match, which is Dauntless versus Beef Squad. So this is my team versus the team from New York. Dauntless is on the left, and Beef Squad is on the right. And this is much brighter because apparently the sun came out at this point. Nicholas, definitely fun. All right, so we have our kind of one of our standard breaks. Our team does this a lot, kind of 1 on each piece of cover, 1 left mid, me in center mid, and then 1 on each of these, the back, left back, right back, center. Beat Squad is starting with one in the mid center, I think two back left, one back center, one back right. So a much more passive setup, which gives us midfield advantage and a lot of lines that we can work with. We get their back right player out along with one of their back left players. So it's a 5v3 at this point already. And their center mid player is down as well. I believe we attempt a flag rush here because it is a 5v2, and when you have that kind of advantage, you may as well attempt a flag push because extra points are extra points. But we are not good at running the flag. So our flag runs fall apart, as you will see more and more of. We get one player down. That means also really, really dumb moment here. As I'm running, I get tagged, and I drop my blaster instead of the flag and realize, wrong hand. Okay, so yeah, it was and drop. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't. So smart. I'm a smart. All right, round two. I believe we go with the same start on our side. Yes, and the same start on the Beat Squad side as well, it looks like here. Oh, they actually go aggro hard on the left-hand side. We take out two off the break, though, which immediately pushes one of their players back off. We do lose one. So it's a 4v2 or 3 at this point. I push up into their angled cover piece. This is something I talked about in the previous match. When you have that advantage and you can move up into that cover piece, you are much safer because it's much harder to get a line on you than it is from other spots on the field. So I will advise that for people playing that center role. So this exposed kind of peeking it's just risky. The reward is so small for over peeking, unless you absolutely know the situation and like that wide peak is going to grant you an angle that you wouldn't otherwise have and people aren't looking at you. But otherwise it opens you up to so much more, and he does end up getting tagged there for it. I think we get a successful flag cap here. You're yelling at me to run, so I'm gonna break this down on why I hesitate to run here. If there's no distraction or no cover or anything like that for a flag run, you're essentially just running out into the open and like putting a target on yourself, like just tag me. I've got no protection, I've got no cover, I've got no nothing. So I was waiting for some sort of setup, but which we didn't practice enough. So which is why all of our flag runs look really just janky at best. And just like I said, I immediately get tagged there. They trade out and we get the round win. So like it's fine, but like we were not good at coordinating flag runs. It was one of our biggest issues. So this round, it looks like they have their same kind of setup: 2 on the back right, 1 back center, one back right, and 1 mid center. Whereas we are switching up and going 2 mid center. I actually go right past this angled piece into this mid piece right here. And we just try and apply as much pressure as we can since we are up 2-0 at this point. The only way they can force a round 4 is if they get a flag cap. So this is, something to keep in mind when you are playing. Are sidearms allowed? Yeah, you can bring secondary blasters. Just you got to think about the impact it has on you, your loadout, your dart split, and things like that. Because if you are carrying extra darts for something that isn't compatible with the rest of your team and you need to swap things out, then you're not in as great of a dart position in like later rounds where like you may be low on darts and you're like, oh, all I have left is the darts that are in my sidearm that aren't compatible with my primary for some reason, or now I have to take the darts out of my sidearm and put them into a mag or something like that. That's just it's slow and potentially problematic, but it doesn't mean you can't do it and can't make it work. Sorry, I didn't want to have you listen to me chew ice for a second there. So yeah. All right, let's see the rest of this round. So I think this is a relatively okay. So we did get one early that gets pulled out from the back right there, and we have our back left player move up quickly, and then our back right player move up quickly, and just kind of stagger our movement so that people can be covered or have things suppressed as they need to be. And this might be a successful flag cap, because here we have like we land. Oh no, Kyle just runs down and cleans things up before we can even get a chance to. Let's just. So this is reading the field at this point, because like I mentioned in the previous match, when you have the flag, you are a focal point, and that's something you can use. So as soon as I grab this flag, they know, and they see people moving up center, like the huddle is center. So we're clearly prepping for a flag run. So that's what they want to prevent. And as soon as Kyle notices this right here, he bolts and cleans up the final players. Like, that's something I always recommend to players that play those kind of like outside positions, is just pay attention to when you can move to bunker people. You don't want to be the focal point yourself. You want the people in the mid to be the focal point, to draw that fire for you, to be that distraction, so you can have that freedom to make those moves. All right. Next up we have match 3. Oh, so this one we missed the initial break here, but let's see where teams are at. We have a much more aggressive approach from Detroit. Dirty Darts flung dirt cheap on the right hand side here, whereas in their first match they were playing far more backfield. This time we've got 4 of them up on the midline, already pushing into the opposing team's corner cover piece, and they've eliminated 1 player from Beat Squad here on the left. Let's see how the rest of this round plays out for them. They are able to apply a good amount of pressure here, and there's not... So we've got this player right here, number 66, who has a good line here on the mid-left player for Detroit, and should be able to get this tag without exposing themselves to anybody but that player. So see if that happens here. Otherwise, you've got this mid player looking for that peak from this side. So if 66 looks on the right hand side here, you've got this player right here ready for that. Either that, or they're looking to see if they can grab this flag. So let's okay. So immediately after I say it, they do get that tag there, and they can now kind of free up where they're looking at, because now they don't have to worry about this side. This angle's clear. He can stand up, try and get this long shot on this back player right here, which I think is what he's going to do. At least that's my initial thought looking at this field. These players' job right now is to suppress this and this. They don't have a good line on this player right here in the mid, because they would have to look out too far. Although with 2 players, actually, you know what? They could have 1 player look left, 1 player look right, and that left-hand angle could cover this mid-left piece potentially. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so he's choosing to get caught up in a little duel here with their mid-right player, and I don't necessarily like this. I would prefer if this player or one of these players kind of pressured this to keep them down and allow this to shoot down their backfield. because there's not really great angles up close, it feels like. Okay, so they do take their mid-right player out from this left-hand side, so that's good. And now he is free up to shoot that back center player. He almost gets tagged. Go for the push. Okay, so a bit of a trade here. So as this player rushes up, he peeks over, tags him. As he's tagging, as the Detroit player is tagging the Beat Squad player, another Beat Squad player gets the trade on that centerpiece player from Detroit. And that's a nice trade. Nice job covering your teammates. And they do get that final tag out. So that worked relatively well. All right, so round 2 up. B Squad's up 1. Another aggressive approach from Detroit with that same passive approach from Beat Squad. Now, Beat Squad does get a tag out here on one of Detroit on that right-hand side. So there's 2 people stuck in this mid, which is rough. We talked about during the last stream, for anybody that was here, having 2 people in the kind of corner piece here, you limit yourself into where you can move and hide from opposing shots. But it's not as big of an issue for them right now because there's nobody on this midline. It's really dangerous if opposing players have people on these mid pieces of cover. So they're not going to get punished for it here, and they move up anyways immediately, so it's not that big of a deal. And we've got some trades back and forth. 4 players down already in this round. Another player down in the back left. So you've got middle and back center for Detroit and 3 people in the 3 back pieces for Beat Squad at this point. They do get a pick there. What was who hit that shot? I want to see. It's just kind of peeking. And that's probably a good shot from Shattuck, because he didn't seem like he was exposing much. So Shattuck here in the mid grabs the flag, moves up into that center corner piece. And this is a great move. That is a great read. So I don't know if he sees this. Let's watch, because it looks like Shattuck goes for a reload, and you see a mag flop out right here. Also, his only other teammate is way back here in this back center cover piece. That's significant. That means there's nobody up close to pressure him. So he's watching. Okay, it happens at the same time, so I don't think it's that prompted the rush. I think he just reads the situation that, or he saw the player in the back go for the run and knew that he's not going to be able to hit him on the run most likely, and goes for that attempt to give them the advantage. Gets the trade, gets the other team to drop their flag, so that's a plus. They no longer have flag control. The 1v1, and they do get the 1v1 tag out for Detroit. So good job recovering there. So we're going to round 3, 1v1, 1-for-1 rather. Let's see if the intros here are any different. Still aggressive, still the same passive setup from Beat Squad that I don't know that I agree with doing 3 times in a row. Teams are going to adapt. Radium, what's going on? And Phobos, you missed the first 2 matches of this group, I believe. We're on match 3? Let me check. Yeah, match 3. So you missed the Dirty Darts Flung Dirt Cheap versus Beef Squad and Dauntless versus Beat Squad. This is now Beat Squad versus Dirty Darts Flung Cheap. So match 3 of Group C. So again, aggressive start from Detroit, which is Dirty Darts. Yeah, Radiant last week, last Saturday, we streamed groups A and B. So still this what I like is that Detroit knows or has figured out that they needed to be more aggressive, because in their first match they were not aggressive at all. They paid for it, having players out in no man's land, and they have really been trying to put the pressure on in this match. So I like that change from one match to the next, and they've not really been punished for it outside of like losing a player here or there off of breaks, where they could have maybe adjusted. But I think I prefer this setup as opposed to Beat Squad stacking 2-on-2 pieces of cover here. Radiant, that is exactly what we're trying to figure out, is who makes that highlight reel. I would love to see you on one at some point. I don't think we haven't gotten to your team's matches yet, right? Or did we? I can't remember. My memory's terrible. But what was I gonna say? Oh, and then Dauntless critique is we suck at flag runs so far. That's a big one. So they've already taken this middle corner piece, and they've moved up. They've got 2 people on the mid line, 1 here in this corner piece. They did lose on this push up, so that's not nothing. Were they peeking too far? Were they tagged on the run? Okay, so there was nobody locking down this piece enough to keep them from having multiple angles on it. There was nobody putting enough pressure to draw their attention elsewhere when he made that move up. So that was free game for them to put 2 people on him. Should be an easy tag. And this is a too far wide of a run. Oh, and he stepped out of bounds too. Dauntless sucks. End sentence. Look, Dauntless has a lot of room to improve. We got a lot of problems. Let's be real. The second game of the first round and the first game of the second round, had to sub in for a teammate and borrow a blaster. Oh no. Didn't realize the F dealer brought it a bit of a soft maglock. No. Oh no, Radiant. All right. Well, it should be. We got almost every single match. So we will see that. Brad, awesome. Definitely glad to see you here. Sorry you can't stay, but yeah, definitely check out the VOD later. We want to get more competitive over there in Australia for you as well. All right, back to the match. So this player right here has the right idea. I like this choice to move up. He could have moved up a little bit earlier though, because his teammate's already been tagged. If he moves up, starts this move 3 seconds earlier. Like, can we go back? So here comes the teammate run. If he starts his run now, then he's in a much better place. Instead, his teammate's been tagged. Okay, now I'm going. But now these 2 players can, along with these 2 players, watch this move. And that's, well, a problem. But beyond that, he steps out of bounds. So it's all moot. And as well, they lose their center corner player, but they do pick up the flag and have that spot filled in. They are down, was it 5v2 at this point, 5v3, and B Squad is going to take advantage of that number. They go in to get that tag out. I like the aggressive play here. I would have liked it better had this left back player gone at the same time and they just pinched this center player, so there's no chance for them to get out of it. Because yeah, they won the fight here, but had Shattuck here gotten the tag out, he could have turned, gone the other direction, tagged that player out, and it could have. You are allowing the possibility of a clutch play. Take that possibility away anytime you can. If there's a possibility for them to make an amazing play, do as much as you can to mitigate that. Because it may not happen every time, but it happens sometimes. We've already seen in the first 2 groups, it's happened a couple times. So B Squad does get the finish there, clears up, and they will take the match 2-1. So we're going to actually try and stay hydrated this time. Okay, so next match is Dauntless versus Beef Squad. Dauntless on the left, Beef Squad on the right. If the enemy team has any dreams of winning, destroy their soul. Got it. You're not, I mean, you're not wrong, technically. Like, it's reality. Like, if you give opposing players the opportunity to win, we think they're not going to take it? Like, if someone walks up to you and says, you know, it looks like I've got the advantage here, but would you like to win instead? Are you going to say no? No, you're going to take that opportunity. Like, let's be real. You got to not give them the opportunity to begin with. All right, so off the break, what are the breaks looking like? So Dauntless goes with our standard, one on each piece of back cover, one left mid, one center mid. Beef Squad is going with 2 back left, 1 back center, 1 back right, and 1 mid right. So they're going to contest for that mid line, which I do like, but we have multiple people on it, so it's going to be harder for them to keep it than it is for them. They are giving up the right side of the back, and I don't know what the thought is here with running back around, because they've got 2 people on this back left cover. And right now, so he's just playing kind of like a no man's land backfield setup, which I think I would have preferred him up here to put more pressure, because if he's in this spot here instead of floating around here, he can apply pressure to Kyle in this mid left position along with him. Their mid right player can fight Kyle a little bit here, but because there's 2 of us, I occasionally will look over when I'm not covering Kyle's push here and apply more pressure as well. So this extra player putting double the darts on this would prevent Kyle from having as much freedom to peek out and shoot other angles. Ray, we do have drone footage from this tournament. I don't know where I put it, but it does exist. I just don't know where it is. So yeah, that's on me. Because yeah, being able to swap it in between the drone footage would be really nice right now. That would mean syncing it up and all of that, which I think I actually did at one point and then lost that Premiere profile. Because I don't know, I'm talented, I had to switch computers or something, but yeah, it does exist, long story short. Just going back to this like, he finally does go back to that cover piece, but he has to expose himself to do it and gets tagged on that run out by Kyle, the person he could have been helping suppress. At least I think it was Kyle that got him. So now, knowing we have the advantage and there is nobody in this midline, we can all move up, aggress, and set up our angles to just clean up the rest of the field. And Valor, I get the notion of trying to move to this cover piece because you are not safe in this back left piece. Like you can see here, Adrena has this line. Like she has essentially kind of a free shot on it. So if he stays there, he has to be dodging this angle, and then we're free to move up. So if he's here instead, he can kind of see the rest of this field. But getting there with 5 people shooting at you is that's not easy. So concept, yes, understood. Totally. Just it's hard to do with 5 people, you know, trying to tag you. There is 1 player still in this back left. This may be our 1 successful flag run of the event. I think this actually is our 1 successful flag run. Every other flag run we attempt is ugly. So bad. All right, second round. They switch things up a little bit. Their players are in slightly different positions. Their roaming player is now pushing mid. That's right, Randall did get a run. That was a bit of a... No, I can't even say that was a pretty run. That was a strange round. We'll get to that when we get to it, because that was a very strange round. Not that it wasn't a flag run. You're right. We did get 2 flag runs, but it was a very strange round. All right, so they've still got 2 people on this back left cover, 1 back center, 1 back right, and they've just changed who's running into mid. We've got the same setup on Dauntless side as we did before, and their center player, instead of shifting to a back piece of cover, decides to try and fall back, and Kyle is ready for that. And at this point, things just, I can't even have time to talk through that. It just fell apart. I think that was just legitimately a case of we hit shots. Like, I don't think this was a strategy situation after that first lineup. This was just, we hit good shots, and that happens sometimes. So yeah. Said our next match against Beef Squad in the quarterfinals, semifinals, was much more, much closer. All right. Match 5 for Group C. Ready, fire line is top priority. Yeah. Keeping those things in control and knowing what you have access to, what the other team has access to, what you can shut down, like all that's super valuable. All right, so this is Beef Squad on the left versus, not to be confused, Beef Squad on the right. And I was just going to say the same thing. I see a Cybern. Okay, let's see if the Beef Squad's break is the same as it was the last, and it is. So they've gone for the same setup they have in the last 3 rounds of their last match, which is 1 back center, 2 back left, 2 back right. Beef Squad has changed things up, however, and is adapting. They've gone for 3 on the midline here. They do lose a player. I like that Valor is moving up to compensate, to cover that line, because he's not able to produce as much from that back spot, given their super defensive setup here. So they do get a trade out 1 for 1, so they're not behind anymore. Beef Squad is, this guy's looking for a line. I think he wants to move. They know this player's on center mid. And I just feel like every time off the break, Beef Squad is putting themselves onto the back foot, because they just have less to work with. And they're relying on getting picks where Beef Squad can use like more field advantage and spread out and cover more. So we've got a back left player moving up into the middle area, and so he was looking for that time to move up into this mid right cover, but he's waited so long that now there's multiple people on this midline that can turn and light him up. Let's see if he gets there safely. He does get there, and he gets a tag before getting tagged out. That's a solid use of that. I thought he would get tagged out for sure on the run in, but I don't know if they were looking different directions. But he got there, he got a tag out. Unfortunately, he got tagged out in response, and his teammate behind him got tagged out. So we are still looking at an advantage Beef Squad, 3-2. And JB, what's up? Thank you, I'm glad. And Cybern, I am sorry that no memory. So Beef Squad's got the advantage. They're gonna play this slow. They probably should just grab the flag, or should have attempted to grab the flag on the move up. But now there's 2 people covering this angle. He's in that corner piece pretty comfortably, and it's now a 3v1. They should grab the flag here, and they get the tag up beforehand. Anytime you can grab the flag, grab the flag. Even if you have zero intention of running the flag, grab the flag. It forces the opponents to think about it. It's no longer, can I get the tag? can I, you know, peek this without getting tagged out? Can I, you know, where can I move things? It's now, how can I stop the opposing team from capping this flag? It's, you know, oh, this is a 3v1. I'm the one. They have the flag. I need to stop them from running it. It changes a mentality if they know that is now on the table. So that's just something I would think about anytime you are, you know, playing this. I wonder if that's anything to do with NIC roots for the MY team. New York area is a deep NIC roots, and it plays much more passive. It's possible. Also, they practiced a different version of this. They, I think, misunderstood the rules or misread the rules. So, like, they came into this expecting something different to a degree. So I don't know if that affected the way they wanted to play, and they wanted to, like, play more defensively because it wasn't what they were anticipating. So I can't speak to it because I don't, you know what was in their heads, obviously, but that is an observation that, you know, could be considered. All right, see if they make any changes going into round 2. It does not look like it. This is the exact same open, with a even more aggressive open from Beef Squad. Though Beef Squad does lose a player off of the break. So Beef Squad does have the numbers advantage here. Now, not anymore. This is that double-edged sword of having 2 players on 2 pieces of cover and not having the space to work. Anytime you double up, you just inevitably have less room to move, and parts of you can stick out that you may not be expecting. And they've lost their back player as well, and their back left player. So at this point, it should be an attempted flag run. I think it's an attempted flag. Like, they've moved up into this centerpiece. They did get a tag on this mid left player, and that does even things out a little bit. Okay, so he does grab the flag. Good. Even if he's not going to run it, he's got the flag in hand. If this player can move up here, nobody's watching that cross. That is a ballsy cross that I respect. I think you probably should have gone back to this cover and, bunny hopped from cover to cover. But maybe there was a call from a teammate that nobody was looking, and he had the freedom to make that move, because he did. I mean, he got there. Although at the same time, Valor did move up to this midline, but does get taken out, and this advantage is gone. That's what was the number on that? How many people were up for Beef Squad? Because they were down to what, a 2v4 or a 2v3? This is a 2v4. That's solid. It's 1, 2, 3. All right, so it's a 2v3, and they get that tag. Okay, so it's a 2v3. Still solid. When your opponents have the spread of the field and you have 2 people on 1 piece of cover and you can salvage that round, that is solid. So good job on Beef Squad. It wasn't anything flashy, anything like, I wouldn't necessarily call this like a top play, but like they worked themselves out of a hole and let their opponents kind of present themselves to make mistakes. And that run was huge to open up a different line on the field to be able to get Valor out. So that's something right there. All right. Be cool if they're officially went to GoPros in the middle of the field. Yeah, we've talked about ways to try and get like better angles in the field. Like, there's a lot of things I would love to do that would require a significantly larger budget that does not exist, sadly. Maybe sometime in the future, but yeah, there's a lot of cool things that could be done. I'm glad you enjoy the commentary. What was this? Disagree. Maybe for newer players, but flag or not, you never want an opponent at your same point or behind. Same point or behind in reference to where you are on the field, or in reference to like score? I'm not clicking. I'm clearly not here on that when I'm reading that. My bad. All right, so let's jump into round field position. Okay, yeah. And having someone behind you, or you know, if you can deny field advantage, then I agree. Typically, you don't want to yield when you can't. So they have 6 rounds in a row. Got it. Yeah. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. 6 rounds in a row. Beats has had the same setup. And I wish they would have done something a little bit different, just to keep the opponents thinking, you know? But they won the last round off of this, even if it was kind of a clutch situation. We've got the midline, or the mid center, covered by Beef Squad now. They don't have any of the extremities. And this is just each of these rounds just kind of comes down to just who over peaks or who hits a good shot, because Beef Squad is just, they're not making any moves. They're just waiting. They're playing that game of just, we're gonna peak. Now, if they had someone off the break get into this position, they're moving up, they're now trying to get there, and he gets there right as he turns. That is, sometimes timing is just on your side. Like, because they're looking, he's looking, looks at his teammate who says, look this way, and he turns right as he comes into his field of view. And now this angle is, or should be, locked down. But he's exposing more than he probably thinks he is. This player moves from the back center to cover up the back left, which is solid. This foot is exposed, and I don't know if that foot's going to get hit. I don't like that play from Valor. I understand wanting to get the flag, but running across a midline when 5 players are just sitting and waiting for a target is a rough sell, especially when you have someone right there next to the flag already that can grab it relatively easily. I would have loved Valor to move up to this midline here, because they control the entire midline. Then it's a nice place to be. Wait, did Valor not get tagged? I thought Valor got tagged. All right, so Beats is making a move for it and has somehow not been tagged. This is okay. So this was not a clean move, but there is something worth talking about in it. So B Squad did lose a player on this back left piece for them, so that's important to note. But as this move is made, he's running up. I think he slips or something, which sucks because now he's having a hard time taking shots. But as this move happens, he reads here in this back left that the opposing team's gonna be focused here. They're making calls. They're going for it. He can now attempt to run up and get a flank. What I don't like, however, is he forgets about this player or ignores them, and just presents their back to that player to try and get the tag out on Valor in this center cover piece, which he does get, but you traded 2 bodies for 1. Beef Squad will take that all day. Now you're down to 2 versus 3? 2 versus 4. Are they going to go for the flag run here? They don't need a flag cap here. It's round 3. Good bunker. And they, okay, that did not need to go down the way it went down. So Beef Squad gets the win, but they threw 3 bodies to get it, and almost didn't get it. So let's break this down bit by bit. You've got this player moving up from the mid left cover, which obviously you expose yourself to this player in this line, and nobody can cover you really. So this is likely just a trade into nothing. And then this player rushes in, same line. This is a good move, this bunker, but it needed to happen sooner. Because if it happened sooner, was he tagged? Let's watch it. Well, he runs here. So was he tagged beforehand? If he was, then that's definitely awkward, and Beat Squad likely wins this match. So yeah, the two, either way this goes. Yeah, I knew he tagged him. I thought the tag came right after he got the hit on him here, but maybe he didn't. Yeah, I saw him switch over to shoot. I thought the tag, the call was late, but maybe he did hit him beforehand. So if he did hit him beforehand, then Beat Squad should win this match. So that's interesting. Regardless, Beef Squad did not play this well. Let's again, running 2 players into a line that you can't really stop, one after the other, is rough. Like, as this guy's going, this guy needs to be making this run, so that it's not just throwing bodies away. Or they need to be coming in here with the mindset of getting that tag this way. It's, yeah. Beat Squad played that better. Who would have the shot on who? Yeah, back out, yeah. So this back guy hits 21 before is the call. So it would have been, I mean, okay, I shouldn't say B Squad would guaranteed win, because it would then be a 1v1 versus these 2 players. But my point is, Beef Squad did not play this well, this 4 versus 2 advantage. So yeah, considering the blaster's already down, he probably did hit him before he gets the tag off here. Regardless, things went 1 by 1 by 1. And that's just asking for things to go wrong. So yeah, that's Cyber. It's all good. This was like a year and a half ago. Yeah, this reffing these games is not an easy thing to do. You're watching darts this big flying at 200 plus FPS, tagging people all over a field that's 180 feet long or whatever. Like, it's not magically easy. So calls are going to be missed. But I think Beat Squads has the advantage here if they're paying attention. Because if this tag happens and 21 is out before this Beat Squad player is tagged, or 17 is tagged, 17 can continue to look this way and have this angle. If this player gets tagged while they're fighting, 17 can either do one of 2 things: shift to this backside of the cover, so he has cover while this player's out in the open, easier shot, or run to the middle of the field while they're distracted, grab the flag, and bolt it to cap it. Either of those options is probably fine. Let's see how far back he runs on this run. We're tracking this guy. Because, yeah, at this point, 17 would still be here shooting at this player. And it's 2 people on them. B squad has the advantage here if that tag doesn't get called. Data, well, thank you for that. I just enjoy competitive things, so doing this is just pure fun. Siren can specifically remember there's one instance we called out a lady who thought she hadn't been hit later in the day. Yeah, it's like there's times where you're just like, you think, you believe. I have made calls in our home league where I've been like, yeah, I'm certain that player got tagged, certain of it as a ref, and then I'll watch the footage back and I'm like, I was wrong. Oh, okay, now I know something. Like, and you learn the more you watch things back, and like you get that knowledge of like, you know, okay, what am I looking for? Like you get better at it, but like you're not just gonna walk onto a field and like get every single call right. Spam, we have not gotten to the exhibition match. Ray, I agree. Top factor is always going to be skill. Okay, so that is it for Group C. Going to Group D. So there weren't really any like exceptional plays in Group C. Yeah, kind of a you know, a bummer, but it's not always gonna have like amazing plays. All right. So Group D, we've got Florida Foam Flingers on the left versus Team IDCP on the right. Spam, don't want to see your performance. Oh. Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Yeah. So catch up on chat look before we start this one. One day we'll have a on-site slow-mo replay. Oh, jeez. Yeah, there'd be a lot of contested calls if we had replays and stuff like that. But I really do want more cameras on the field, more footage, more all of that, just because it's just better for teams, like not only content creation and like doing shoutcasting of matches like I did, which I want to do more of, by the way. But if you watch the video I did of the finals of RAG 2019, that video was brutal to edit on my computer. I'm still trying to get a new video card, which will hopefully help with that. Like if I open that project, or even project half of that, as I open Premiere Pro, my video memory is already maxed. And so like I can't play things back easily. It's terrible to try and edit. So hopefully once I have something that can edit a bit better, I will be doing more of that, I hope. So yeah. Timothy, if you can work with your team to be that aggressive player and make use of that, there is nothing, you know, it is a totally viable play strategy or play type. We satisfied till we have the same replay options as Mario Kart 8. Oh my. You're making demands. Ugh. Okay. And Cyber, I believe you can get back in that. You can get back into it. Like I think a lot of people have had this last year hit hard. This is a very aggressive start and not aggressive start from Florida. Sorry, I want to see that again, because that is interesting. Like they went 2 up front and 1 way in the back, and 2 on 1 piece of cover. Team IDCP plays the same setup that B Squad did. I really would have liked to see Florida have one of these players on the right go to this piece of cover. But we'll see how this plays out for them. All right, so this player in the backfield is moving up. They do lose both of their midline players, and that is rough. So IDCP has moved up. They've taken out the back center, back right. This is, again, putting 2 people on 1 piece of cover. Less real estate. Easier to get tagged out. And it's now a 5 versus 1, which this is... Correctly, this player is running back to try and stop the flag cap. That is you know, the right play. He can't get his secondary out though, and they get the flag cap. That is super unfortunate. That's a feels bad. Like, that's a frustrating moment because you know what's coming, you know what's happening. You don't have the reload. I don't know if his blaster gets caught on his holster or something. That's a bummer. All right. So let's see if they change things up in the second round. Looks like close to the same start, except instead of all the way up to midfield, we have their left-hand player stopping halfway. It looks like the same start for IDCP. I'm just waiting for one team to over peak or push, and here comes IDCP taking that left-hand mid cover piece, and they're going to try. This is okay. I was just about to make this comment that they are peeking right-handed on a left-hand peek, and that's going to expose more yourself, and you're going to be easier to target and easier to hit. And as he peeks to try and get that shot off right-handed instead of switching left-hand, he gets tagged. So advantage is Florida, and they've taken out a back left player as well. So this is a 5 versus 3 advantage. They grab the flag. They have control of the mid line, except they lose their mid left player with the flag. So the flag is just out hanging, and they have a player try and bunker. Okay, they did get a trade. Okay, I was to say that bunker play would have been a waste if not. I'm not necessarily a fan of this because this player is no longer here. This is no longer like a viable distraction with that flag because they know it's down. And knowing that they've been looked at, this person's still going to make that run knowing there's a person there and a person there. And luckily they get one out, or their teammate's able to trade as they're tagged. And now it's a 4 versus 1, 3 versus 1. Their teammates need to move up. But thankfully, their teammates are enough of a distraction, or the player in the back center doesn't realize that he's being rushed. Teammates should have made better calls there, for sure, to know that they're being rushed. Or the teammates made a call and he just didn't hear them. Blasted this seriously. This is like a year and a half ago. This is a long time ago. Let me catch up on chat here. Timothy, interesting question. In soccer, the wingers are often opposite dominant leg, left-footed as right winger and vice versa. This is faster cut to the goal. It's apply in FPT. To a degree, yes. We have talked about on our team what hand players are most comfortable with. I have tried to drill in that you should be good with both hands because you will be switching, but we have put people in positions where they are more comfortable peaking with the hand side that they are, dominant with or comfortable with. So yes, absolutely, I would say it is a factor. Spam, that's why you practice the draw. Absolutely. Be comfortable with your gear. If you're going to bring it onto the field for a competitive event, you want to be comfortable with it. Ins and outs, just that factor where you don't have to think to use it. It's second nature. Let's see. I saw a couple people use the Hurricane at this event. And yeah, I'm not the biggest Hurricane fan, but I also am not the biggest secondary fan. So, kind of a little bit of a bias there. No wars this past year. Yeah, it is. I have not nerfed since Ragnar Oktoberfest 2019. That is a depressing thought. It is. Oof. It's sad. Very sad. Looking forward to when we can safely have events and getting back to competitive stuff. So yeah, miss it as well. And everyone at it is, getting to see people in teams. And I was so stoked for starting to see teams emerging and people traveling to events and just that get that competitive fire going. Yeah, Timothy, there's definitely value to being able to shoot left-handed. You can more easily utilize this right-hand cover piece, shooting left-handed. That's something to keep in mind. Is this? Yeah, the whole sidearm location, that's all like a lot of personal preference. Rotary, you could be the person that makes that happen. You know, you just sometimes you got to start things and make it happen yourself. Never used new gear, so you got to ADL in a few wars. Yeah, I totally agree. You never want to bring something new and unpracticed. Yeah, absolutely. All right, all caught up with chat. I don't wanna talk too much. Let's watch the rest of this. So we should go into round 3. Each team has 1 round win here, so this will be the deciding round. Let's see if anybody changes up anything off the break. No from IDCP, and no from Florida. So we've got, again, just this kind of setup where it's that kind of game of chicken. Who's going to make the first move? Who's going to peek first? Who has a safe move they think they can make? It looks like there's maybe a blaster issue here. He's not shooting, he's fiddling. Yeah, it looks like there was a blaster. He's pulling the barrel out, so he had a jam. He probably would have been better off just kneeling down behind the cover and trying to fix his jam instead of peeking out, or, you know, yelling as much as he could to relay information to his team while peeking. So yeah. So the center player is going to attempt to make a move to the mid left piece. Successfully gets there, despite the wide slide. He's going to get bunkered right here. I hear yelling from his teammates, but it does not look like he's going to be able to make the turn quick enough to get this. And there's no real safe move. We talked about this last week. Shifting cover sides when someone's coming to bunker you, when you don't have enough time to flip around, or you want to try and trade because they're going to be pre-firing where you're at. But this line, you can see it is covered by this back center player. So he may not even get the chance to get a shot off if he tries to switch this lineup. So let's see. Tries to get around. They get the trade. Okay. That could have gone far worse. You see Dan of Orion Blasters move up to the center. So it's a 4 versus 3 IDCPs. Advantage 4v2, 4v1. And this should be the end of the match. He's backing up. Now, in this scenario, typically, like we mentioned in the first round, backing up makes sense. Yeah, because you're trying to stop the flag cap in a 1 versus 4. But this is round 3. Any win at all is match over. So he has to try to eliminate all of these players. So exposing himself, because this team doesn't need the flag cap. If this flag carrier goes down, the rest of the team is just going to light him up. So this is a... Did Dan really just get that flag cap? He just got... Is that going on the list? Just the point blank jukes to get the flag cap? That was unexpected. Gotta see that again. He's trying to bait the shots. It's on a reload. He ducks under the last dart, or was there a jam? Maybe there was a jam. I'm gonna have to ask Dan about this. I'm gonna have to ask Dan if there were darts flying or if that was a jam. I'm gonna mark this down. Yeah, that's something I was gonna talk about actually as well, Ray. Reading something you said after we finish this round. Let me write this down first. We're in... what is this? This was a juke flag cap. Group D, match 1? Match 1, right? God, where's my cursor? Yeah, match 1. This is Florida Foam Flingers versus Team IDCP, round 3. That's yeah, I'm gonna have to talk about that. Okay, so let me catch back up. Cybern, you promise you will get Arizona team going. I am so looking forward to the Arizona team and league getting going. Absolutely stoked for that. Told multiple players from your region if they're planning on using a new blaster at the FPT, they need to immediately rethink that decision. I 100% agree. You bring what you are comfortable with. I have used my same FDL3 since I got it for competitive, and until I have something that I'm more comfortable with, that I feel does what I want better, that will continue to be a thing, because that is what I've put the most time in with. And it's just that's the way it is. You use what you are comfortable with. And Rotary, maybe you can make it a college group. If you're going to college next year, maybe you can start, a club there. Talked with the I think it's Purdue University Boiler League of Tag, and how they went about it at their college. Reload drills absolutely help big time. Something I highly recommend. So yeah, Joker's Blaster, that I believe that's an Exus 2. That's what it looks like. Posturing isn't a bad move. I agree, but he was posturing in a way that he was exposing himself more than he needed to, and wasn't necessarily like aiming or firing like to kind of like continue that posture. It was just kind of peeking constantly. So like the concept, fair. Execution could be, could be improved. Yeah, exactly. The exact point you just made is you can also try and fix it, and so instead of carrying a sidearm, just keeping it empty. That's fair, yeah, if you don't mind the extra bulk. Jang just broke. I did a little bit. Like, I couldn't believe that actually happened. I'm gonna have to talk with Dan. I really am, to see if there were darts flying out of that blaster, or if it was a full jam. But as the point that got me to start this conversation point is, competitive events break more blasters than anywhere else. The number of blaster failures we've seen at all the tournaments is just astronomical. Like, you are going to have failures. So on top of having your primary that you're comfortable with, you need to have secondaries. You need to have backups. I shouldn't say secondaries. You need to have backup primaries that you are comfortable with and willing to pull out and use for the rest of the day. Because yeah, that's Cyrus's black hole. Oh, that moment. Just, I feel for him still, even though it's all fixed. All right. So let's go ahead and move to match 2. And this is the Crew Auxiliary versus Team Kickass. Sorry, trying to remember to stay hydrated here. Okay. And we've missed the start of the round. So it looks like 2 players left for the Crew Auxiliary, and 1, 2, 3 plus players? 4 players? 4, 5, 4 on 5 players. All right, so a flag cap, successful. Crew's unable to stop it. All right, so it's already up 2-0, and we're into the break. Ray, I want to know the same as well. Like, I try to talk to as many teams as possible to find out, because like I always want to like promote teams to, like, I want to normalize practice and like putting in effort, and that like competitive, you can go hard. Like, yeah, we mess around, we have fun at regular games, and like, we screw around, it's fun. Nerf is fun, it's goofy, it's whatever. But like, it's okay at a tournament and competitive to go hard, you know? Let's normalize that. Like, not be toxic. I'm all about respect and, like, you know, that friendly competitive rivalry and whatnot, and building those storylines, but like it's okay to put in the effort, you know? Like, that's what I want to normalize. And like it's like it's a fun thing to do. All right. So we got aggressive push, defensive start for crew. Two players down, one from each team off of this. We've got one in the center mid, one back left, moving up to center or mid left, back right. I think there's another player in this back left. Amy usually plays this. Or is that Amy that moved up? This camera's a little blurry. So this is just picking people off at this point, it looks like, because the crew's not really making any moves or trying to spread their kind of field position, and they really can't, considering that it definitely is Amy. This player back here can probably safely move up and just put the extra pressure on, because right now you're just taking an extra 30 plus feet on a shot that you don't need to. I see 3. I feel like there's a 4th player somewhere still up for kick-ass, right? So 3v2 at least. Now they're moving up, going for the rundown. Tagged and didn't get the call that someone was rushing him. So a clean finish for kick-ass here. And it was a 3v2. Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. They got the flag cap round 1. I was like, why'd this stop? Ocean, glad you could stop in. Hopefully next time you'll be able to hang out for a little bit longer. And I hope you get to participate in this at some point in the future as well. I guess that's why you prefer building your own blasters. Take down, fully rebuild several times. Know them intimately. That's a really good point. Like, knowing your ins and outs of your blaster. It's just that comfort. Ray making the point that it's less about blasters, more about the users. I would say it's about the user's comfort with that blaster. Like, I could use my Strife that I've used at other, you know, terms. It's my backup primary right now. It's far less, you know, powerful than my FDL3, but I could use it just fine because I'm comfortable with it. If I picked up a blaster that I wasn't comfortable with, I could grab the Talon Claw off my wall right now and I would play terribly on the field. Abysmally. I am not a good Springer player. I'm trying to get better. Something I want to improve on. But right now, I'm not a good Springer player. So yeah, it's about the, you know, comfort and the, you know, with the blaster. Yeah, absolutely agree. If you are not used to it and you're running into a competition, you're gonna fumble with it. You're not gonna have that second nature to it. I absolutely agree with you on that. Yeah, Timothy warming up. That's, yeah, definitely did some stretches beforehand. That's for sure. Yeah, Ray, definitely having that experience, whether it's, you know, in something similar or something completely different, being used to the stress of competition and like, if we lose, we're out, you know, that kind of thing. It's valuable. And a lot of these teams playing, it was their first time doing something like this. So I'm looking forward to them coming back and being more experienced and having more they can pull from and growing as teams and like seeing that improvement and the level of competition elevate. Because right now, honestly, we're at a beginner level. Like, I think there's so much more that we can do for this like sport side of it in terms of like competition level and quality of teams. Like I know our team has so many things we can improve on, like a lot of things we need to improve on. And I know that's the case for a lot of other teams as well. So I'm stoked for getting to that point. All right. Cyber, you're hyped to get going this past year. Yeah, everybody was hyped for sure. So yeah, well, hopefully sometime later this year things will start to look better. I don't have much hope for early this year, the first half of it. It's just going to take a long time for vaccines to get out to everybody and people to have them, and things to be worked out, because there's a lot of factors that I don't think early. I think late at best, if we want to be hopeful. Okay. I feel like I've done a lot more talking in between these last couple matches, so let's try and power through this one. Okay. So we've got the Crew Auxiliary on the left-hand side versus Florida Foam Flingers on the right-hand side here. We have a decent start in terms of setup. I'm still not a fan of this double up on this cover piece. I'm going to keep hammering it home. Like, yes, it can be useful at times, but it's not ideal. Okay. So are they mirrored of each other? They're essentially mirrored, I think. There's two people back here, one in the back. The difference is this person's on cover, this person's way in the backfield. Otherwise, they're essentially mirrored. Sorry, let me full screen this. I think right now they're just both teams looking for an opening, and so I like this. As soon as they get an opening, something, they take out that middle corner piece player. For Florida, they make their move. Crew makes their move for this middle right-hand piece. He doesn't go too wide, or did he go too wide? It didn't look like he went too wide. We'll see in a second. Okay, so he's relatively in cover. Or no, he was tagged. Either he stepped out or he was tagged. Let's watch that back. Okay, so two players are down for Florida. So he got tagged. He didn't step out. The line looked decent. He didn't go too far one way, but he did get tagged out on it. Unfortunate that he didn't get there, because that would have been a great spot. So this right here as well. Spartan, what's going on? We'll catch up on the double spot top after discussion after this round. I just want to finish this because this point is fresh in my mind. This player on this left hand kind of middle piece right here, I'm not the biggest fan of him focusing his attention over here, because he's not threatened from this position. He's threatened from this corner, this back right piece that this player was on. And this player is now moving up and is going to have a line on this player before they can turn. And they are tagged out. Thankfully, their teammate did get the trade out tag before he got settled into cover, so that's big. But certainly a mistake, I think that they'll learn from. So properly backing up to stop the flag cap, like we talked about in the last match. And they tag him out. Yeah, tagged him out. Okay. I think. Oh, they're. What happened? Okay. I don't know why that round I left on so much at the tail end of it. Most feel it's safer to double up on one of the sides. Getting the center cover tends to be a risky play. It's a natural move. That's fair if you don't have players you feel you can comfortably get up into the middle cover pieces. That's fair. I get that. It's just, yeah, it's rough doubling up on these pieces. I'm trying to think if I would rather double up on the left or the right hand side. Tough call, because you just got less real estate, and you keep thinking that you're covered, but like more of your body's exposed depending on how you're playing. Because if you're both playing like say here's the cover piece, and you've got one player here and one player here, and you're kind of like just hanging out next to each other, like you're gonna have like a foot sticking out or your butt sticking out or something, like, and you're not realizing because like you're huddled up and you're close, and so that's rough. Or if you play like one person's up against it and one person's in back, the up against it person is probably fine, but the person behind has a rougher time because they're out at a wider angle that allows more opportunity for the opposing team to see them. So it's it's tough. I get your point though. I totally understand that. Like if you feel your team doesn't have the ability to get up comfortably to that middle piece, yeah, like that's fair. That's fair. I get that. I'm just wondering if there's something else that can be done to mitigate it. Like instead of getting there and sitting there, if it's a bunny hop where like the team is working on covering certain lanes so that this player, the double up player, can move up to the mid or something like that. Like that could be more valuable instead of people just knowing that you're gonna, the teams are staying there and being static looking for shots. Like creating movement and forcing opponents to make mistakes is something to consider as well. But I don't know. There's a lot to be figured out still, which is something I like. As I'm saying it, Michael, you point out the same thing as well. Bunny hopping or bouncing from cover to cover. Yeah. Okay. We've got the same break. Again, they're mirrored. They are quickly on Florida Foamfinger's side, moving up to the mid-left cover, which, as we just talked about, is a solid thing to consider doing. They've forced this middle player for crew to stick to one side. If they had someone on this mid-right cover, they could lock out that mid player, but there's no safe way for them to get there yet. Okay, going for a move up on this back right to the mid right. I like this. There's nobody covering him at the moment, it looks like. And now that he's there, I'm sorry, she's there, right? I can't see, they're covered by people. Regardless, point is, I liked that move. That was a good read and a good time to make that run. Now the fight becomes these two mid wide pieces. And this middle player here, instead of shooting down at back left, I feel like should be pressuring this mid left, because this is your danger spot. Okay, and they switch back to try and do that. Now this mid right player is applying pressure, trying to hit that foot. Be aware of your feet, everybody. Aware of your feet. Your feet will stick out way more than you think they will. Same with your butt, but your feet are like the number one thing I see sticking out of cover.
2, 1, go.
We've got a little 1v1 here. They are tagged out. Nobody was there to trade. And I'm not sure why that was. Let's...
2, 1,
Okay, reloading.
go.
Reloading. And standing up. Okay, so that is her fault there. She is looking at the other side of the field, peeking out of cover. So that is an unfortunate slip on her part. So yeah, if you're looking downfield, you don't need to be exposing yourself. So it's now still someone reloading, it looks like, and there's Lightning Eagle in the back there. Mio, what's up? How you going? Sports that require this much strategy and coordination are cool. I agree, Ocean. Definitely like that. Rage, standard plan, 2 left or right. Their job is to cover center player and either replace them or frog. Yeah. Making sure you've got your lines covered and allow your team to be able to move so you aren't just stuck hoping for someone to peek and you to be able to shoot them is definitely a good thing. Yeah, moving up as soon as you knock it out if the free space is there. This move should have been punished. I feel like this move from there should have been punished, and it is punished now. But did he miss? Did he miss those shots? He did. Okay, he's got like a single shot blaster and missed both shots and was tagged out for the trouble. That is unfortunate. These two players should have been able to tag out this cross. Unfortunately, they didn't. This player tried to cover for their misses and gets tagged out in response. So it's now a 2 versus 2. Back left, center, the center like angled piece, and then back center, back left for crew. Attempting a run up from the back left. They do not get there successfully. And the round ends in a draw. I think that's the first draw we've seen. That's the first draw we've seen in this tournament. So that's round 2. So it's Florida up 1-0 going into round 3, right? Unfortunately, off the break, one of the crew players forgets a mag, drops a mag, and has to go back to grab it. So they're going to be late to their spot. So instead of the double up on one of these closer mid pieces, we have way in the back a double up. And Florida goes for a super O and knocks the cover over after a super aggressive play. Gets tagged out, does not get the tag, or does get the tag. Okay, so they do trade. Hope that player is all right. It looks like they took a PVC frame to the face. That's not fun. So it's now a 4 versus 4, and it's all backfield for crew auxiliary. Florida's gonna move up to this mid-right piece, go for the 1v1 fight. At this point, if they could bring this player up to the mid-left piece and this player up to this spot. Actually, I would prefer this player go all the way up to here. Just bunny hop one to the next because they have a flywheel blaster. They have a Springer. I would like the Springer to stay in this position and this person to be able to apply pressure from here. I don't know where Florida's third player is. Their back left moved up. I think they have a third player floating around here somewhere. Oh, backfield. Back there. So this, it's like, I feel like the crew doesn't have their lines figured out as to like where each player's looking. Because peeking above here, there should have been shots from the backfield, either of these players onto this piece of cover when he peeks up. Instead, this person's essentially being left like if you've played League of Legends, like this is top lane right now with no jungle support. They're just like, they're being left on an island. Finally now, as they make the move, they get some shots in, but Florida's going for the aggressive. They get punished for it. It's now a 4 versus 2. Florida didn't need to. Okay, so Florida's behind, so they had to be the aggressors in this round. I don't know why he ran all the. Oh, he's out of darts. He left his mag there, ran all the way up, had nothing to shoot, is now going for a bunker, gets one, gets traded. And Lightning E goes for the bunker with a plus bow. Or not a plus bow, just a snap bow. Or not a snap, what are they called? Why can't I remember the name of them? Going for the flag run and gets tagged out. And that is... Wait, that was a draw again? There were 2 draws in that match. Wow, that was unexpected. So Crew won the first round, I guess. TK says they. So had this player not forgotten their mag, they could have potentially started movement fast, although it didn't matter for Crew. So since the Crew was up, they just needed to not lose this round. That's all they needed to do. So I can understand a static play style from them and just not losing the round. I'm not necessarily sure why Lightning Eagle tried to bunker with his bow here, but yeah, so this explains why Florida was trying to be aggressive earlier. They just needed to do it a bit sooner. So yeah. Florida might have been out of ammo. That's a good point, Ray. That's a good point. They could have tried to go for that aggressive move earlier, then when out of ammo and just tried to hopefully find a hole. Edskar, what's going on? Guys from the sideline should have called the bunker out. Yeah, sideline calls are huge. If you are on the sideline, you've been tagged out and around, your job is not done. You are still playing. You are just eyes for your team. All right. That's match 3. Let's go to match 4 of Group D. I believe just darts are dead. I could be wrong though. It's been a while since I've read the rules for Ion Rush. Like a year and a half. I should know them. Like my instinct says just darts, but Ray might have some insight there. Okay, and Chef, thank you. Thought so. Just didn't want to assume. All right, so match 4, Group D is Kick-Ass on the left versus IDCP on the right. Okay. So let's see what the break is looking like here. We've got an aggressive start from Kick-Ass. 1 player down off the break for IDCP. 2 players up in the mid. And 1 player roaming for Kick-Ass. So IDCP is down a player. They've got back left, no man's land, lost 2 players now off the break. 1 left, 1 right. So it's all backfield for IDCP at this point, and Kick-Ass just has the ability to spread out here. I would probably have Chef move up here. Unless this mid-angle player... Okay. The mid-angle player is on the left side, so that move-up is not safe. Amy's move-up is being covered currently. And that shot is across that angle, so we break it down. We want to try... Because, we want to get one of these angles locked. Okay, so Amy does move up. Which is great, and not getting punished, which is huge. I thought she was going to get locked down by this back cover piece because they were looking straight down this line. This is definitely the move I like to see. And Chef moves up right after. They lost 1 player. And from that angle, that crossfield angle, you're able to get to these cover pieces. At this point, it's just looking for the lines. So they've got all down but 1, going for a flag. Troa gets taken down. Some fancy footwork to try and make this happen. But Chef with the solid. I like this. All right. So I like this move. This player, after getting the tag on Troa, is going to try and win this round. They're trying to not get tagged. They're trying to salvage whatever they can. So their focus is solely on Amy taking shots at him right now. So Chef sees this, instead of going for the shots as well, realizes the flag is right there and is able to get the flag in. So solid read, good move. All right, so round two. Yeah, one of the guys in the last match was using the ground as mag holders. That is not ideal. We saw the reason why. Something to note, the center is doubled up. They're taking each side appropriately. Yeah, when you've got two people in center, one on this angled piece and one on one of these either side pieces is typically far more ideal than both on that angled piece. Loving other players' opinions on your play, even if it's negative. Yeah, I'm absolutely with you. Like, I don't like just being told what I want to hear. You don't get better that way. Like, you got to see the flaws in something to improve it, and like, so like being open to that's a big respect. But again, the point that I made during the last stream, like, I'm not here to like tear people down. I'd see no appeal in that. It's like looking at things objectively and like, this is something you can look at, you know, maybe consider this. There's plenty of things I don't recognize that I need to, you know, improve on as well. So it's like it's not meant to like bring people down. It's meant to try to elevate everybody. It's like, I want to elevate, you know, my play as well. So basically, I'm going through this the way I go through my play when I'm looking at myself. Draw a center, Chef on back on an anchor side, Amy on opposite, flex over here. Amy typically was always on this angled cover piece, at least whenever we were playing against you. I know she was always there. And I've said Amy is going to be a very dangerous player. The better and better she gets, the more and more she improves. I'm hoping, sorry, let me back this up, reading chat again still. Yeah, I think the last stream is unlisted currently. Maybe I'll drop a link or something. But I'm going to do this for this tournament and both the RAG tournaments. So like, can go through, you know, as much as I can. And then I'm hoping that as things start going back up again, I can get footage from like league events from all over the place and do streams analyzing that and finding top plays from that and making, you know, top plays videos from all over. Ray, I appreciate that, man. That's really nice. But yeah, this is fun to me. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, we talk with these players like they're already good. It's like, and they can be better. Like that's the point. Like, you're already good, but you can be even better. There's so much more room for growth, and that's super cool. I love it because I want to see people playing at like super high, like levels higher than we already are. Is that out of bounds? If that's not out of bounds, that is like on the line, treading it. All right, so similar setup. We lost Aiden, or is Aiden right here? Or there's Ian on the off side of the field. Okay, yeah, there's Ian over there. So someone was lost off the break. Amy moving up. Both times Amy's moved up, this back player has not tried to put fire on her. Though, I always forget, is this Soviet Slav? Is that number 80? Trying to remember. Let me back this up, see if he's taking shots as she moves up to push this person down. Because if he is, that's perfect. He was not. Let me back up again. Okay, looks like his blaster's up there. Takes a shot. Person's reloading. Takes another shot. Another shot. That gets them. Okay, great great job pinning that person down, allowing Amy to move. This is what we talk about when we say kind of like opening up lanes for people. Because like right as it happened, like he comes back to turn and Amy's already there. This is something I will always push is switch to offhand when you're shooting in different angles. She's peeking around right hand side here, which is great for what she's shooting at. Chef moving up. Could you have moved up earlier? Let's look here. Okay, we focus here. Let's focus on the left side of the field now, because we got one player mid, one player back center, one player back right. At this point, I think I see the tip of a blaster poking out here, probably firing at Troa. So if the focus is on Troa and Chef, it looks like you are looking here. If you're looking here, how many seconds before you move? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, you're reloading, it looks like, or messing with a jam. 7, 8. So the field is essentially emptied before you make a move up. They're down to one player before you make a move up. I don't know if this was like blaster failure or something you were dealing with there, but there was opportunity, I think, for you to move up earlier if you coordinated with Troa to give you a little bit of that cover. But I mean, your team was just hitting shots at this point. That was a quick 2 minutes for rounds done. Waited, he's waiting for Amy to get in place. I mean, at this point, because my mind is often that you can use your teammates' movement as cover for your movement. Now, not necessarily at the same time, but if you stagger it in that your teammate has moved and just finished their move and the other team is staring at them now, they're making that call, player here, there's that second of lapse in an opposing, in a team when something happens and they're taking in that information where you can take advantage of it and move. Not that it's always perfect, but it's just something that, you know, we can easily get stuck in our comfort zones with, like, you know, what we do. I certainly have that habit. So yeah. All right, so that is that match down. Like, this is stuff where your team had the position and there were a few players left, so it's not, you know, game ending or something. It's just a kind of like a little detail that, you know, can or can't. It's not an end of the world type of thing. All right. Injuries in competitive. I hope we never have major injuries. Yeah, let's not get on to HVC injuries. Ugh, a lot of stuff. Ugh, I don't want to think about that. All right, match 5: Auxiliary versus IDCP. The winner of this match will continue to the quarterfinals. Loser is eliminated. All right, so Crew Auxiliary on the left, IDCP on the right. We've missed the break. It looks like one player was tagged out off the break for the crew, and we have a bit of a slightly aggressive position, maybe 2 people in center for IDCP, 2 on the right and 1 back left. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Oh no, okay, nobody's down. This mid person was just covered by the other people as we started. So 5 versus 5. An aggressive move up. I like this move for IDCP to take this piece right here, because now this player has to be very aware of what's happening 5 feet from them. So that's solid. This player also is going to be watching this spot like a hawk, meaning they're not watching this side of the field. They do get tagged out, unfortunately, probably on that move, and then they double down, but lose one in response. I like that this player moves up as these two players in mid are taken out, because they now no longer have a lock on this cover spot. Yeah, we have some drone footage. I don't know where it went, though. I have it somewhere. Unfortunately, I don't know where it went. Sad. So yeah. Thank you, Fisher. You have a great day too. Thanks for popping in. At this point, I want to say this player should move up, but with their blaster, it may not be great to move up past this point. They could move up to here. Spartan, that's awesome. I hope you get to enjoy what you have around. That's Kelly making a move from the back right to their mid piece and gets the tag, but is traded out immediately. I like this move. Unfortunate that he got traded out in response, but I like this move because 2 people left on 1 piece of cover against 4. It's a tough day. Dan back right wide open. Yeah. So also important to remember, we have a slightly better angle than the people on this cover would. His butt's definitely still out, but it's not as exposed as we see it. But Dan, they should be punishing him for him just sitting up peeking right now. I don't know if something's going on with his blaster back here, but he should be trying to put shots on him. And he's got a blaster trained on him. Okay, there's a player in the back left still for IDCP. Okay, so it's a 3v2, not a 3v1. That's important. And this move up into the centerpiece does get punished. Another one moves to fill a slot. This back player needs to move up. But instead, they're unable to make trades from this position. And that has afforded IDCP the ability to... Dan going for another flag run. Unable to get the... That was a draw. They drew the round? They drew the round. Oh, no. That's... Every time I see a draw, it's just so unfortunate. It's fully exposed before... Got it. Okay, I missed that part. I was looking elsewhere. Yeah, that's an oof. That's an oof for sure. All right. So that's the only round we had for this match, unfortunately. What I can tell you is IDCP did win. I remember that from the top 8. So we know they won. I just don't know how they won, which is a bummer. And that is the last round of Group D. We've been going for a couple hours. Let's do the quarterfinals. All right. First quarterfinals is Beef Squad versus Fear Our Foam. And I believe Fear Our Foam is on the right and Beef Squad is on the left. This camera angle is slightly off kilter, unfortunately, so we don't see their spawn point here. Just catch up on chatter before we start this one. Ocean blasters are probably more accurate than you would expect. Obviously, there's a lot of variance. and a lot of things that can change, that can, you know, make you feel like you're not as accurate as you are, but they're surprisingly accurate. Ed used to play airsoft rounds with cover like this. Yeah, if you wanted to go aggro and just try and get the trades, you know, if you can get 2 for 1, yeah, you're valuable to your team for sure. And yeah, the cover is closer together than the field indicates. There's like 30-40 feet on each end of the field before you get to a piece of cover. So it's like the cover's kind of coalesced around the center of the field. Yeah, paradox, the paradox rounds are going to be, this should get interesting as we get into the top 8 here. All right. Again, VR foam on the right. Wait, do I have this named wrong? No, Beef Squad. Yeah, okay. Beef Squad on the left, VR foam on the right. All right, so again, the 2-1-2 setup here. 2 back center for VR foam, 1 center, 1 back left, 1 back right. We've got aggressive, quick moves. I like this. We don't really see a lot of peeking from VR foam right now, so Valor takes advantage of that early. They do get a tag out on their back left player, and off of that push, another player is going to push up to the right-hand side here mid, gets in safely, and has a free line to these players here if they can get that angle. If this can be suppressed and not have them looking on this outside angle, they can take some relatively free shots on these 2 back center players. Hold on. I will tell you. I think I have it. I have our binder. Do I really not have the distances on a... Wow, I really didn't put a map in here with the distances like I thought I would have. Really? Am I that inept? I mean, probably. Huh. Alright, well, maybe I don't have that information on hand. Thought for sure it... You know what? It's pretty sure it's on the website. Ugh. All right. I'll try and look it up later. I thought it was in the binder as well. I could have sworn it was in there, but I clearly was wrong. All right. So at this point, B Squad's just picking people off. It looks like Valor's having some blaster issues though. And just like I said, this right cover piece just has a free line to this back angle. And they are trying to dance around, but it's a 4v1. They're gonna try and stop the flag rush, and they do trade out, which is important. They stop the flag cap and only lose 1 point. Okay, that's right. So from here on out, teams will be switching sides between each round. So now VR foam on the left, Beef Squad on the right. And they both go for this mid-right piece. And it looks like VR foam gets the initial tag on their mirror player, but then gets tagged out from the opposing other players. And it's a trade 1v1 with the rest of the VR foam team playing defensively, whereas Beef Squad is playing offensively, and they have the advantage here. They grab the flag. It's a Okay, yeah, so they did get the tag. Valor's out now, so it's advantage Fear. Nope, tie-up game. Beef Squad has better field advantage, but Fear Foam is making a move for a wider angle, which is nice. I feel like when they make this move, they're not really getting much cover or help from their team. Yeah, there's nobody really locking this spot down. I think this person might be trying to take some shots at it. If so, that's important. Yeah, it looks like these two players are dueling. This player on the further left, which is important because otherwise this is just should be an easy shot for this player. And all he has to deal with is this one player further back, which with a flywheel blaster, the shots aren't coming quite as fast. So he's able to safely make it to cover. Still, field advantage is for Beef Squad. That was a wide run. He runs so wide. When you're running to move up to cover, you don't want to give players that extra angle. So now they just have all midline. And I want to figure out what the thought process was here. Because they have people spread out and they want to take this player out, which makes sense because that player can take shots here. This piece of cover is stronger. So they're trying to get to the stronger piece of cover. I get that. I just don't know why you expose yourself completely and make the run without trying to bunny hop. You sacrificed a player to get there, but now you only have one side of the field. And why this player isn't covering this angle on the move? Do they not know? Did they not know that they moved around? Because if he got there without a call being made or a scene or something, then that explains why they weren't looking at these angles. Because otherwise I'm confused as to why they weren't. That must be what happened. Right? Alright, so deciding round here. Off of the break, defensive start again for our foam. One player lost off the break for Beef Squad, but they did get someone into that center cover. They are having to dip, dodge, duck, and dive away from darts. They do get the trade out on that back piece of cover where they've doubled up. So it's a 4 versus 4 in this scenario. This is a risk. This is a move that is being watched. Just staring right at him as he makes the move, and he still gets the cover. So he didn't get punished for that move, and they do get a tag out onto that back right piece. At this point, it is at least a 2-person advantage. Yeah, it's a 2-person advantage, I think, for Beef Squad. One back left, one back center. They're properly moving up the field. They've taken out the back left. They've grabbed the flag. Valor could even move up again at this point. That player's in like the back of their cover. He does move up. Player moves up. The rest of the team should move up with him. Okay, so they were doubled up on this back left piece. So they used this move to bait attention for that. Okay. Okay, I like that choice. I wouldn't have minded it being a little bit faster, but I like the moves on that. So I think that was a well played finish to that round. I'm gonna watch that one more time. They methodically moved up from cover to cover. He goes in for the rush. Now, you also have this player covering and putting pressure as well. Because as we talked about, you know, trying to shift around cover and whatnot. So he's not sitting there. So this person has shots to take as well. So it's two people shooting at him. And the distraction is there. It's happening. It's been tagged. Now, if this player was already here, that would be more ideal. If he had moved 2 seconds earlier, like he sees this, he starts now. Instead, he waits, goes, he could already be there, you know, with even less chance of the other team reacting. But yeah, I think that was overall good execution from Beef Squad. Valor isn't nearly as aggressive as he could be. It's easy to stay on your cover and be like, I don't need to move up. I'm safe here. I don't need to, you know, to make that extra step. I just bit my tongue. Ow. I'm good at talking. All right. Quarterfinals number 2. Space Force versus Kick-Ass. We are, I'm guessing, already into round 1. Let's see. Is anybody down? I see a Zombona down. I think there's 3 people. Yeah, and there's Sam over here, I think, right? I think so. Ed, you know, half the ammo rules, but if one player is taken out, does their ammo get passed to another player? It is also removed from play, Ed. Yeah, what you're carrying is with you. You can pass it on to a teammate while you're still on the field, but if you're tagged out, you're out of play and you are not able to. So it's a 3 versus. I see Ian right there. I think I forgot to look. Is that Soviet Slav? Is that their player name? You got Chef and Aiden, Troa. So there's at least 3 players. Okay, and there's a 4th player right there. So it's a 4v3, 4v2 now as Naptown just got tagged out in the back left. So we should start to see Aiden move up. Dart Dragon's in this spot here. So he's gonna have to hug this cover piece as he gets there. But we could see, so I think the move here is Troa and Aiden move up to this piece and this piece respectively. As that's happening, Chef, you are locking down Jill back here because this angled piece you don't have as free of shots. And whoever is over here, Amy, is preventing Dart Dragon from being able to safely move. Because if Troa and Aiden are able to put double pressure on Dart Dragon, it's harder for him to react. And even if one goes down, the other goes down. And if a spam line is coming this way to prevent Jill from being able to peek, then that movement is safe. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ray, for the confirmation there. Yeah, I'm super stoked. I was talking with Michelle about this the other day. I'm super stoked to see what Space Force can do with like a local league and practice and all of that to be able to grow. Because like they've been saying that like they think Sam is going to be like a monster of a player, and I'm really stoked to see like how elevated teams can get and, you know, things like that. Cybern, thank you again. I will yell at you later. But thank you, and have a good rest of your day. I will hopefully talk to you sometime soon. All right, let's see what happens. We got to assume it's been maybe 30 seconds. There's not an immediate amount of pressure to make this happen. So if this if any of you see this where Dart Dragon is now looking opposite side, if Amy can make that call, both of them are looking at her. This is the, like, you're safe to move, or safer to move. Good, good, good. Aiden's moving, Chef's moving. Was Amy was tagged out. Troa is looking up top and gets tagged out running. I don't like that move from Dart Dragon. I think Dart Dragon is better staying in that cover piece. Because if he took out his player on his left, if he shifts over to that left side of the cover, he's safer than fully exposing himself. And Jill can take the shots on Chef right here. And potentially Aiden, depending on how far out he is. But Chef's the target out in the open. She's focusing on Aiden, however. She saw Aiden move first and probably tunneled on him, which is easy to do. So now Chef is safely in mid. Troa is still in mid. Aiden's safely there, and it's 3v1. Grab the flag, going for the flag cap. And gets it? Gets it. I am surprised Jill didn't try to run down and get the shots. I guess the thought in her mind, there's a few things. Okay, let me break this down bit by bit, because there's a few things that I'm curious about. I'm surprised that Troa and Aiden didn't follow up. Because if this flag is run is happening, to me, Troa and Aiden should be pincering right here. One coming from the left, one coming from the right. So if Chef is tagged out, they can immediately tag her out. So yeah, that's the curiosity to me. And then she didn't, I guess the thought in her mind was, if she hits this tag on Chef running and she's still in her position, she still has cover afterwards and can still potentially win. I have to assume that's what her thought process was, but just being able to have the closer shot, like, she could have cut off that angle. Because I have to assume that Jill is fast. I didn't get to play against her, but I know she's fit, so I have to assume she is fast and she can cover ground. So I don't know. I don't know what the thought process is for sure there. That's fair, Ray, that they were watching it. I just feel like if you can, like I said before, eliminate the possibility, like, you're on them, and there's no way she's gonna split fire on two people in a second. But it's perspective, or not perspective, the personal difference, I guess, on that one. All right, round two. Up 2-0 for Kickass. Oh, don't fall over, camera. Not super aggressive, more aggressive approach for Kickass here. Dart Dragon looks like he gets tagged off of the break. Let's see. Zambona's pushing up to the right. We've got Sam, I think, in the back right here. Naptown, I think, plays this back left spot. And there's one more person with him. So Ian does get traded out. So it is a one. Oh no, Dart Dragon didn't get tagged out, but Zambona does. I think he overextends. Or does he not overextend? Let's back this up. Okay, so it's Jill and Naptown in this back left cover. Dart Dragon mid. Or maybe that's Naptown. The resolution is not good enough for me to see, but Zambona is going to push up here on the right. And he's running super wide. This is something that's interesting. For real, Mike, I thought when he was sliding in his blast trip, I thought he got tagged. But he's just styling. So since Zambona is so wide here, I think Aiden gets him. I think it's Aiden that or Chef. One of you two gets him. All right, so it's a 4v4 at this point. 4v3 as Jill gets tagged out by, I have to assume, Troa. So they've got one back left, one center, one back right. And Amy's moving up here. I think I would have liked Amy moving up to this spot instead, this left position, because up close with her long caliburn is a little bit awkward to try and work. But she's got the flag. Chef, nice. So it's a good read, using the flag distraction to take advantage of the situation. You can see the blaster sticking out, decide to go for the final tag, and that is it. 3-0 for Kick-Ass. I still think I would have preferred Amy going wider with that and having Troa pick up the flag, because a flag cap at this point is not necessary. There's zero extra value for actually capping the flag. Using it as a distraction, absolutely, but all you need to win the match is that 1 point. So I think having Amy on a wider angle, being able to put a shot down rather than using the flag for distraction when Tro was right there and could have done it, may have been a better situation. But when you're up 4-1 in the field, it's a it's a nitpicky kind of thing. Play with Jill nap time regularly. She's very fast. That's one thing. I just assumed she was fast. All right. Chaos versus Dauntless. We got Chaos on the left and Dauntless on the right. This is the round of shame for Dauntless. I get tagged off the break. We attempted something different this round. We attempted a 2 mid. So as opposed to the 1-2-2 of Chaos here, we attempted to go 1 back left, 1 back center, 1 on back right, and then me and Randall on the center angle and the center like mid piece on the actual midline itself. So we did that. I got tagged out by, I don't remember who. I don't think I saw who. It was just darts coming in, and I ran into him. So that was, I think, our second time attempting that play, but we trade out. We get Daywalker. At this point, Pablo makes a run up and stops halfway. I think because he sees Randall on this cover piece. But he probably would have had a equal or better chance of just finishing the run here. Although there, he's still got Kyle pushing all the way, shooting all the way across. So it's 2 people shooting at him. So maybe a push towards the centerpiece of cover itself may have been the better move, or at least the higher probability move. I scream at Ton because Ton runs past the midline because he wasn't thinking. Adriana moves up into mid with Randall. Tag out. It is Tony and David. I don't know which one. Which one is Tony? Which one's David? Isn't this Carius? Their usual username, I think. Also, this isn't full screen. My bad. So things fall apart here. I have talked with Aiden, or Cali Nerfer, about this. Like, he runs up and acts like the round is over when there's still a player left, and has to kind of like recenter himself. And we're gonna go for Carius' David. Thank you. We're gonna go for a flag rush here. As I've mentioned, our flag rushes are not good. End sentence. So So we're not really coordinated. Kyle runs back. It's like, okay, gets caught out. And for some reason, Callie Nerfer is behind our flag runner, which does no good here. Then trips our flag runner, gets tagged out, and Kyle stopped shooting because he thought he tagged. Carius had tagged him prior, I guess was what happened here. And so it just fell apart. And this was like just a terrible lack of coordination on our play. As soon as things started breaking down, one player was tagged, like the play should just immediately abort, tag the player. Yes, this is a 1v4 that is going on the top place. That is, yeah. Being able to shoot down players doesn't matter if we tripped or we've, lined up or whatever. It's a 1v4. Players were still trying to take him out. So this is a play that will be on our highlight video. The trip and then the Callie Nerfer twirl. Just, what are you doing? All right, so this is 1v4 flag defense. It is quarterfinals. Team Chaos versus Dauntless. Round 1. All right. So yeah, this was just solid shooting to be able to light up 4 players quickly. I'm focusing here on our misplay because it's my team and that's what I focus on. This is not to detract from the fact that he did shoot 4 players quickly in succession. So just to clarify that, my salt at my team here is something we have discussed. Please don't make me do that again. I did not like that. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right. So going in, we changed our start back to our kind of default startup. And it looks like the start for Chaos is their default as well. 2 back left, 2 back mid, 2 back, or 1 back right. This is just everybody looking for picks. So we do get 1 pick to open up that line. Our team starts moving off of it. This widens up our spread of the field. Is it Tony attempts to make the run to the back right piece of cover, which I respect that decision. Because just sitting out in the open here as the backfield players have moved up and have a better shot on you, makes sense to not want to be out in the open on a piece of cover that you're doubled up on that has an open angle to this line. Maybe a few seconds earlier. Like if you notice that this player's running, looking, so they took the shots after they couldn't get the shots. Okay, so it was after Pablo gets shot down that he moved up. Okay, that's, and he moved up when Adriano was down. I get the, okay, I get the logic of that. So Tony not having practice comes into play. That's huge. Like not having that comfort, So we moved up. We are Okay, so we finished up that. We were able to take advantage of that run, essentially. I think kind of sealed it. I did what he has to, just not as sharp as the... Yeah, and that comes with more practice with the team, you know? You said running specific down player runs is super, you know, super important. And yeah, totally not assuming otherwise, Ray, that your statement of like, he's a great player. Like, you can be a great player and not mesh with the team because you haven't had the time with the team. Like, it's very, like, yeah. Let me put it this way. I would rather take a player who is a step or two below another player if they are comfortable with the players on my team. All day, every day. Because that player is going to just be more relaxed. The rest of the team's going to be relaxed playing with them. It's just valuable. Like, it's better to have a team of, like, role players that all work phenomenally together than a team of all-stars that just want to go do their own thing most cases. So yeah, I totally get it. All right. Off the break, we have a different setup from Chaos. Carius is pushing up mid, and they're going to run a 1-1-2 defensively. We've got our standard setup of one back left, one back center, one back right, one center, and one mid right. Pablo goes for a quick run up. I remember this tag. Because I was able to get to my spot before he got there, because he takes a break, or not a break, but like he pauses, I think. Yeah, he stutter steps and then moves, and in that I'm already in position looking at his line, and I'm able to get that tag. And Kyle, I think, takes Carius. So if he gets there around the same time I get there, it's a much more even back and forth, and that can go either way. That still could have gone either way, but getting these opening tags lets us keep this mid line. And I don't know who hit that shot, if it was Ton or someone else. Trying to spread out wide. Solid choice. Keep lines because, you know, you don't want to give one side completely up. This, anytime I see this, I always want to call it out. If you're peeking left side, switch to your left hand. Get comfortable with both hands. It's reasoning kick ass as well, despite not having practice sessions, spend a year of ADL. Yeah, that kind of comfort's huge. Yeah, that heat was no joke. No joke. Eddie runs up here. She is out of darts. So has to grab a mag from me. Ton is trying to draw darts out, I think. I think he's just trying to draw fire while the rest of us move up because we have player advantage. I think that's what he was doing. We were able to move up. Yeah, Ton's literally trying to taunt people and just draw fire. Like, it's nice. This is round 3. Maybe he's out of darts. I think he's out of darts. And that's why he's doing this. Because this is round 3. I think he's out of darts. Addy moving up. So right now we've got Addy in this cover center angle piece. I'm right behind her on the left here. Kyle is still right here. Randall is back here. And Ton is hanging out in no man's land. So it's just spreading out so that we have the angles to hit shots. And waiting for the shots to present themselves. Addy hits that. Randall moves up off of it. And we are able to get the tag while they are backing up to try and get more cover. Welcome back, Ocean. Luke is everywhere. Luke is everywhere all the time. That man never stops. But I am looking forward to playing against Team Chaos again in the future. Okay. I feel like my voice is starting to go. Yeah, I think that is you are correct, Ray. Everybody was running a little bit low, so it was kind of one of those like draw attention games and do what you can to open up a shot. Ocean dart distribution is based on the team. Each team gets 250 darts per match. You allocate them however you see fit for your players. So yeah. All right, this is IDCP versus Team Paradox for the quarterfinals. Okay, and off the this can't be off the break. This is probably decently into a round because I see 2 players from Paradox on the sidelines and only 3 players from IDCP on the field. So it looks like a 3v3 most likely in this situation. We've got, I'm guessing, Shaggy right here, Milan right here, and Archer back here. It could be Archer here and Shaggy there, but then Dan and I don't know these 2 players' names, unfortunately. Milan moves up, so Paradox has mid advantage, but now they're down a player, and the camera overheated, I think. Bummer, we don't get to see how that round finishes out. All right, I'm hoping for what the actual focus is. Let me look here. I'm hoping for at least one more good play because we've got Brett's 1v3, Simona's 1v4, potentially the juke flag cap by Dan if the blaster was actually functioning, or I'm not sure about that one yet. A flag cap to force a round 4 leading to a match win as a potential as well for maybe, but I'd like, and then the 1v4 flag defense from Carius. So I'd like potentially one more to have 5 solid, like a top 5. So yeah, hopefully in these finals we'll find one more play. That would be great. All right. We need a lot of things for sure for these. All right, Paradox on the left, IDCP on the right. Off the break, we've got a much more aggressive play from Paradox and a defensive, I think 2-1-2 by IDCP. And Paradox almost, was that a trade? Did Brett hit that shot or was it someone else that hit that shot? Let's see. So I like this start from Paradox, but I don't like Brett immediately peeking this right-hand side. Jonathan, Team Sesh had a flag cap that may make the top 5, depending on what else we find. So it's watching Brett here. Moves up. He gets to cover, but he's immediately peeking. Yeah, on the right-hand side here. So immediately peeking. Had he hung behind this cover piece, it looks like he does get the trade there, which that's nice. If you're gonna get tagged, you at least get the trade. But I would have much preferred him sitting for a second, getting calls for where people are, and then going from there. Because then you've got the whole middle line, and you can protect this player better. But thankfully, they do take both players out on that back right piece, so it's a 4v3 currently. Spectre on 7 moves up, is peeking more than he should. Like, he's just standing upright, and he gets taken out for it. That is an overly aggressive move that I do not like. So him moving up, good with that. I think he should have stayed there, maybe moved up to this piece and pick different angles to peek. Like go up, left, right, up, you know, like vary it so you're not just standing up in the open presenting a target. And Michelle brings up that it's a very fair point. Paradox and a lot of these teams do not have extra players that can make calls from the sidelines. That is super valuable. If you can bring 7 players to tournament, bring 7 players. Not only is it extra, you know, fresh legs, but it's fresh eyes and a voice and calls that can be made. I really like this aggressive play here from Paradox outside of the Spectre and 7 play. They're spreading out the field, taking the advantage, getting the angles that they want. Shaggy able to take that shot from the good angle he has. It's advantageous. Milan's going for a flag run. Looks like he's going to get it. Okay, no, he did get tagged. But then they tagged at the other player. They're discussing it. They're discussing it. And I think the flag cap went through because that's the end of the match. I think, unfortunately, camera issues do happen, which is a major bummer. Okay, so we know Paradox wins this. So, pretty sure Paradox got the flag cap there. But I overall liked their decisive, aggressive play in this match, in that round. I just did not like the play from Spectre and 7. I thought that was a step too far, and he exposed himself too much. For an unnecessary amount of risk for a reward that was not worth it. Important to minimize your gear. Yeah, absolutely. I wear less and less gear the more I play. All right, semifinals time. Beef Squad versus Dauntless. Okay. Starting off, Beef Squad on the left versus Dauntless on the right.
3, 2, 1, go.
And for the start, we have our standard start on the Dauntless side of 1 back left, 1 back center, 1 back right, 1 center, 1 mid right. And it looks like 2 back left, 1 back center, 1 back right, and 1 mid right for Beef Squad here. And their mid-right player is taken out right away before they get a chance to get to cover. And I think it's because they were taking the time. This is something we actually practiced and decided on, is a lot of the times, depending on what you're doing and who you're facing, whether or not you're taking shots at the start of a round. So they're, for the most part, they're taking shots. They're aiming up. You're running slower when you're doing that. You are trying to aim. You are trying to do things that don't allow you to sprint at full speed. Whereas Kyle is like sprinting at full speed. I'm sprinting at full speed, which is slow, but still it's full speed. And because of that, the slide, I'm already looking here. Kyle's already tagged him, or someone else tagged him. I don't know. But yeah, when you're taking shots, if you're taking too many shots off the break, you are slowing yourself down, basically, is the point here. We've gotten 2 off of the break here. 1 right, 1 left. I move up, and we got another tag off on their back left player. So it's a 2 versus 5 at this point. Slow with full speed scratch my rate. I feel you. I feel you, Chef. I gotta up my speed for sure. And Valor peeking out more than he should have been. I don't know if it was just confusion on what was going on, but he had his head out for longer than it needed to be. At this point, the team kind of moves up and just tries to pick off what they can, and wait for that head to show up, or a leg or a foot or something to peek out, and they eventually get the tag from some angle. Wait, is that the only one I have? That's the only one I have. Hold on a second. Let me. That's a bummer. Huh. We only have this one. That's a major bummer. Do I have, let's see. Let's see if I can find raw footage anywhere. Maybe? Is this it? Did I just find? Okay, there's a lot of unlabeled stuff in here. Who is this against? Okay, this looks like the quarterfinals because mag swap there. Okay, this looks... Okay, that's round one. Thank you, other people, for having... Oh, don't tell me we skipped it. Oh, we don't have it. Okay, that doesn't work. Well, bummer. Yeah, I don't have the GoPro angle of... Do I have... Let's just start clicking things here. All right, that is not what we want. That's afterwards. Maybe here.
This is match 2.
All of this.
If they win this, they take it all.
Okay, so that's... Thank you, Luke, for telling me match 2 of the finals. So we want... Here, maybe? Nope, that's kick-ass on the other side, so that's too early still. That's after the match against Beef Squad.
Moving faster.
Is this... Okay, that's round one. Are you kidding me? Every single one is round one, and then after the match. Come on. Kill him here. All right, we're going to go through one more folder. Come on. I'm sorry, I'm not talking. I'm trying to find this footage.
2, 1, go.
Okay, that's still the wrong match. Nope, wrong match. Come on. And this is earlier in the day. Wow. I really... Let me try one more folder. Okay, no. No. I'm determined. Okay, this might be it. This might be... The video's like 12 seconds long. Kidding me. Ugh. Milan, what's going on? Hey, Homely, how's it going? Milan, we just finished watching a Paradox match. Is this? Okay, nope. Every single one. Every single one, every single person recorded the... Every single person recorded the first round and not after it. This is amazing. Like, this is actually impressive. Oh man. All right. Do we have... Okay. What? well, I found the drone footage. Happy little coincidence there. Paradox. Okay, so we want a round before this, right? Nope, this is Beef Squad versus Paradox. This is too early. Paradox versus Kick-Ass. And I feel we're so close. Okay, this is round one. This is round one. Please tell me we have round two. This is the exhibition match. We don't have round two. Are you kidding me? Round two footage literally does not exist. Where did I find footage for my video? I did a video with footage from round two. Where did it go? What? I'm so genuinely confused and honestly a little impressed. That's exhibition match. Okay. Do we have it here? This is it. We found it. It exists. Okay. We did it. There's no sound, but we did it. Okay. Here we go. Here's round two of semifinals, Dauntless versus Beef Squad. All right, so off the break, we do our same standard start for Dauntless. See Kyle here on the mid left, me mid center, Randall back left, Ton back center, Eddie back right. We've got an equally aggressive push from B Squad here, which is essentially our mirror. Yeah, it's exactly a mirror to our push. Well, except Valor out in no man's land here. So at the start, we get one tag off of the break, which is huge. They aggress again, try and fill that gap to take this mid line. I miss a bunch of shots. I should have 100% had this. Like, this is just plain bad shooting on my part. My blaster wasn't ready. I was not in a good position and did not hit somebody out in the open. So that is bad on my part. Thankfully, Kyle is doing work and gets their mid player. We see a 3v3. Addie gets taken out here. Was she sticking her head out too long? I think she was. She's up, taking a shot up. So she maybe got a little bit more relaxed than she should have. All right, so here's where things get crazy. Kyle goes to reload a mag. The mag is reloaded backwards. The darts are put in backwards. At that time, Valor is making a push. Ton misses shots on Valor, even though he's got the line. Kyle happens to lean forward to peek because we're probably calling it, and he's probably looking for them to get the shot before they cross. And Valor misses the shot. Kyle does some wild dip, dodge, ducking, and diving to stay alive here with two people shooting at him. Like, trying to reload his blaster. Finally gets tagged, but in that time, Randall has tagged two players out. So Kyle staying alive allowed Randall to get both of those players. And now it's a 1 versus 1. And we're in an awkward position where Randall doesn't have great cover. This person has better cover. But they don't use the cover. Randall misses a bunch of shots. Randall realizes the flag's there. I'm here. They're there. This player drops their blaster because we find out later they were out of ammo. And Randall picks up the flag, sees he has no blaster in his hand, and just kind of jogs the flag in. So that's a round that happened. Yeah. Yeah, no, Mike, as Michelle said, the darts were in the Talon mag. They just were facing the wrong direction. So we had to try and take them out and put them back in while he's dodging and diving those darts. I don't think I can give this, like, this is not a top play. This is a what in the world is even happening moment. It was, oh man. So Kyle wasn't loading all of his mags at this point. So we came back and, like, random people were loading our mags on our team, and just, like, we're just sitting there talking, loading mags. And after that point, Kyle's like, I'm loading all my mags. Nobody else is able to load my mags. Like, yeah, that's fair. That's, yeah. The top when things go wrong play. Yeah, right. Oh man, was interesting to say the least. Anyway, 100% okay going through drone footage of the other games. I might be as well on another stream. Maybe we finish out the field footage now that we know where it is, and then maybe I'll do another stream another day of the drone footage, like after we do the rag stream or something like that. We come back to the drone footage. So yeah, we've got 3 matches left. Trust broken. Yeah, I'm doing it myself. Oh. Yeah, dropping your blaster. Yeah, had he kept his blaster and tried to run Randall down with it, it would have forced Randall to assume that, like, he at least has 1 dart and he's just trying to make sure the shot hits, right? So yeah. In Ocean, that is exactly what the cover is. Well, it's not tarps, but you can use tarps. We use Ripstop nylon, but yeah, you can use PVC and tarps. Okay, let's semifinals, Paradox versus Kick-Ass. We have sound again.
2, 1, go.
Kick-Ass on the left, Paradox on the right. On the break, we have 2 people rushing mid for Kick-Ass, 2 back right, 1 back left. This looks like a slightly different start for Kick-Ass. 1 back left, 1 back center, 1 back right, Brett pushing mid right. Maybe there's 1 center, or maybe there's 2 back left for Paradox. Okay, no, there's Archer trying to rush there, and a lot of tags happen really quickly. Let me back that up. So we get in, and 3 people get tagged right off the bat. Looks like Ian, Troa, and Sam. Okay, so there's Ian, Sam, and yeah, then Troa. So this leaves no midfield for Kick-Ass. And they've got Brett for Paradox here on the mid line. This line, there's not a good move for Aiden here. It's like he wants to be here. You don't want to be doubling up here. He wants to give Amy enough space. But Brett right here is going to be able to lock down that move, assuming. Let's see what happens. Spectre is just hanging out there. I would like to see a little more movement from Spectre in terms of not exposing himself the entire time. Is that Shaggy or Milan moving up? But good move to get in that spot. Now we've got both corners on mid, which is huge field coverage. Chef goes down. Where did Brett get hit from? Where did this hit? So Brett gets the tag across the field on Chef, it looks like. And then... Is there another player? I need to see where the shot came from. Chef, did you trade with him maybe? Is that what happened? And he's just slow to move? Chef's reloading. Tagged to take a shot. I'm so confused. I think Brett imagined a tag. Or did you... Before the reload. Okay. Okay, so someone else hit Chef then. Okay, that explains way more. Okay. So Ashton attempting to make a move. Or not Ashton, Aiden. Gets back to the cover piece. That's a punish that Paradox should have had with a 3v2 advantage here. That's something I think this spot should have had covered. Moves up. Aiden goes for another move. Does get punished this time. Have the flag. Goes for the flag with protection. Amy lines up a tag and does not get it. Wow, I thought Amy would have had that shot for sure. I also thought, what was the backup? So they've got blasters on her. They're ready. They're ready. Milan's running up to get the close shot. Good job. All right. So round 2, switch sides. Yeah, not easy shots to make for sure. I view Amy as a good shot. So like, it's more surprising when the shots aren't hit. Basically, is that, you know, not that it's an easy shot, just that she's a good shot. So, Brett is likely going to get lit up here. Much more aggressive start with Ian and Aiden here. Both coming up mid, watching both angles. And Brett does get lit up. So does Archer. This is a great start for Kick-Ass. I really like putting the nimble players down the middle line, smaller targets, easier to get into cover and take those shots. Troa moves up. Great call. Harder for the right side to move up since Shaggy is watching this line. Shaggy has to look both sides though, and Troa gets hit by someone? Was that just like a quick shot from Shaggy on Troa? He comes back. Goes for the shots, looks back to the right. And okay, maybe it was Milan that hit him, or Spectre, one of the two. So it's a 4v2 advantage right now for wow, words. For Kick-Ass here. 3v2, 3v1. That's a good trade. Anytime you have a 2-player advantage, taking a 1-for-1 trade all day, every day, worth it. They've all 3 moved up. They're going to try and go for a flag cap here, it looks like, to lock up the tie rounds here. Good job moving with, forcing the or not. Did they? Okay, hold on. So I cut off the footage before the clarification happened. Did it end up being elimination or did it end up being a flag cap? Because to miss that many shots point blank and have to reload that is rough. That's an oof. So I don't... Team elimination. Okay. So he did get the just in time. So it is now 2 points for Paradox, 1 point for Kickass. So a flag cap by Kickass wins this match, and elimination ties it. Anything for Paradox wins. All right. So off the break, again, that same aggressive 2 players mid, which worked for them last round. I like this call to go back to it. However, it looks like Brett makes it to cover safely this time, but does get tagged out afterwards. Archer's holding the top of their mid, and then you have a 1-1-1 kind of setup. She does get tagged out, I assume, by Ian based on the angle. So it's now heavily favored here for Kickass to at least tie this match. The move slowly moving up. They've got a complete control of the midline. Everyone's leaping bit by bit. It's what, a 1v5, 2v5. Spectre's just covering that goal line at this point. Like, his only thought is now Shaggy's down and is now a 1v5. His only thought should be stop the flag cap. Do not allow them to cap the flag. He should not be running up here, and he lets the flag run past. That's rough. There is unfortunately no good reason for that play to take place. It is just a straight loss of concentration. He wanted to try and get something done, maybe force the issue to get himself tagged out, and just lost track of the fact that a flag cap wins them the match and loses for their team. That is rough. That is a tough way to lose a match for sure. But good job to draw the attention and keep him distracted long enough to get that flag run in. So yeah, that is a great way to come back. All right, we have 2 more matches left. However, I need to use the restroom. So I'm going to be right back, and then we will we'll get to the final 2 matches. Sorry, thought I could get through, but I do need to go and do that. So I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. Just wanted to ensure I'm not rushing through things and giving the final couple matches a good amount of time here. Let me bring this back. Okay. Let me catch up on chat here. Sorry, I missed Milan popping off. You sleep well. I'm sure you're gone already. How dare you have biological needs? I know. Stupid meatbag. Terrible. NordVPN, stream them Netflix shows. I need to get a VPN. Like I keep, looking at them, and it's something I need to do at some point here. Someone inspired to get some overhead footage of your next local event, playing indoor. That'd be awesome, Panda. And I need to, Panda, are you in the Sydney group? If you're in the Sydney group, I need to get in contact with the Sydney admins, because I know Sydney Nerf has played Quick Flag before, and I want to see if I can get them like set up for like more competitive stuff and kind of tracking things as well. Because okay, you're in Melbourne. Okay, Melbourne has which group? That Games of Foam? No, that's UK. I'll talk to you afterwards. Otherwise, yeah, I want everyone to have access to competitive Nerf. Jonathan, rewatching Pro Tours get you excited? I feel you. That's why I want to do this. Like, I miss it. I miss it so much. Ugh. I'm looking forward to your area having more. Hopefully you'll get a league running some point soon here. Yeah, the stuff making it harder for drones is really really a bummer. Okay, so just watch the last semifinals. Right? Yeah. Squad Dauntless, Paradox Gas. Oh, we actually have the other view. Okay. Let's watch this breakdown from this other side. We had two angles for this semifinals match. We didn't for the others, unfortunately, but this one worked out. Jonathan, send whoever's the admin, message me who the admin is later on. All right. So here's that final round from the opposite angle. Gonna see what he sees. Like he's taking these shots from the backfield. He sees Amy move up. Someone calls left, 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 and that prompts him to run. So that left, left, left call pulled his attention, and he just went for it. That's such a frustrating way. Because like, that's going to eat you up. And that is not fun, but it's not something he'll do again. All right, so let's jump into the third place match. This is Paradox versus Beef Squad. Live for 3 hours. Yes, 3.5 hours almost. We're going to finish up, and then I'm going to hop off, and anybody who's watching can go watch some Wallcom or watch AGDQ finale that's ending tonight, and they are raising charity for Prevent Cancer Foundation. They're like 2 million probably right now, so always an awesome event to watch. Okay, 2 matches. Let's do this. Paradox on the left, Beef Squad on the right. And an aggressive start for Paradox and Beef Squad. Both have 2 people center mid, 2 people mid right, and 1 on each back piece of cover. Brett ends up going down. Archer is out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why she was there. Let's look at this again. Archer like starts to move up like she's gonna follow, and Brett does the same thing in where he's too wide out and doesn't go for safe. Although I guess he knows that there's a mirror on the other side of this cover, so he wants to try and get them. He just doesn't get there in time. So that's tough to survive that. He's also got this person. This is probably who hit him. This person shooting at him. And Archer gets punished for sitting out in the open. They do get a trade on that right piece, but they lose Shaggy here in mid, and it's now a 2 versus 3, 1 versus 3. It is Milan versus 3, 1 on this mid left and 2 in this center area here. They're gonna try a flag run. They're grabbing the flag. He's gonna get pushed on the left. He doesn't get tagged initially, but does get tagged, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the tag on the flag runner. So let's watch the end of that again, see if there's anything. Mister, what's going on? Love watching a pet. Me too. What a coincidence. We were just talking about competitive happening in various places, you know. Australia being one of them. All right. So yeah, Milan, he does the thing where you sit behind a piece of cover when someone's going to bunker you, that I'm not generally a fan of. Not that this is an easy thing to process, and not that I'm saying I would be able to process this in the moment, because I certainly make a lot of mistakes, but had he, instead of waiting for the person, depending on how early he heard the call, had he stepped around this cover piece when he gets pushed right here, there it is, he turns left. Had he stepped around instead, he has more cover, but he's exposing himself here. They want this flag run though, and there's a possibility he doesn't get tagged out while they're trying to run the flag, but once he gets the tag here, they probably just trade him out instead. So it's like a lose-lose situation. He needed to hit this shot immediately without getting tagged, and it doesn't happen. And it looks like it's because he reloaded an empty mag, which I've done. I've done that before. I know that feeling. It's not a good feeling. So B squad up 1-0. And a more restrained push on this one from Paradox. Sorry, my throat's starting to hurt from all the talking. So we've got 1 back left, 1 back mid, 2 back right, 1 going up to the mid, and a similar break for Beef Squad. Paradox loses someone, their mid player. Beef in return loses their player pushing for middle left. So it's a 4 versus 4. Valor is going to try and move up here. I don't actually agree with this call. You don't want to double populate this mid spot unless you have to. And since Valor's a Springer player with a higher powered blaster, he can still maintain this backfield spot. Now, if this player moves up in response to one of these, 2 middle spots, then this is totally fine. We'll see if he does that. Looks like there's a blaster failure and someone running back to try and get a blaster, but maybe there's no blaster there. I think that's what happened here. Looks like another player was removed, or something was grabbed off the field or something. Okay, so Valor does move up, so they're no longer doubled up on that spot. Milan is still blasterless. Maybe he's gonna grab the secondary blaster from Spectre. At this point, they should know something is up with Milan's blaster, that he's just roaming around out in the open. They should try and get the free tag or do something, or ignore him completely, because Paradox could be using him as a distraction to try and move up, but they're not currently. They're going to try and drag this round out, it looks like. So Milan's going, they do get a tag onto Valor, which opens some things up. It's now a 2 versus 3, effectively a 2 versus 2, because Milan did grab the Hurricane. He's going to try and get the trade out there, does not get it. But Brett does get the trade. So I really, really like that decision Brett's covering the flag run, distracting. What happened? Okay, we gotta rewind. We gotta rewind. Because this breaks down fast. Going for the flag run. It's a 1v3. Spectre stops running, but it doesn't look like he's been tagged. Right? He's not being shot at. Unless he was tagged way back here. Which maybe he was. Because you gotta figure he'd be shooting at this flag runner, right? Okay, so he was tagged. Okay. Okay, so he was tagged. And they didn't realize... Okay, I'm sorry, I had to my brain paused there for a minute. So, this whole time, his teammates think that he's still up. And they're not shooting because they want him to run the flag. And this whole time, the B Squad player is shooting them and cleaning house. Well, okay, TK's clearing it up. This round doesn't count. So that's right. They null and void this round. And they redo it. What about I can't. Two refs disagreed. That sounds right. Yeah, that's awkward. And I think if I remember right, they didn't get to top up their ammo either. Right? Or did they restart the match completely? Was that what happened? I think they restarted the match completely. Yeah, they restart the entire match. So the lead that was there is gone. And we've got a similar start for Beef Squad, a more defensive start from more defensive start here from Paradox, but they do trade 2 for 1. So Paradox has a 4 versus 3 advantage right now. We see a move up into this back right piece, back left piece. One back in no man's land. Valor does move up, which is a good call. Try and get a wider angle on things, but is promptly tagged out. Maybe waiting a little bit before peeking up would have been a better call, or going for a lower or wider angle peek. This is now a 4 versus 2 and should be Paradox round here, barring anything funny happening. They attempt to double move up. That's an interesting... Okay, let's talk about this. So this move that happens here. They're going to move from this back left piece, and they're going to double move. So Archer goes for the run. And I think this is Milan or Shaggy. Wide peeks out to suppress this shot. And to make it harder for them, potentially tag them out. The risk, obviously, is this player right here just lighting you up, which doesn't happen. So they get away free for it. They do actually tag out Archer though. So a net loss from that, but it's an interesting strategy and one that I think warrants discussion. This is a 2 versus 2 now that was a 2 versus 4. In Paradox's favor, is now evened up. We've got mid right, back left for Beef Squad, and back left, back right for Paradox. Now both sides have moved up mid. That move may cost him this round, and it does. Almost in sync, both players on Beef Squad are taken out here. It looks like the back right player hits this player who's going to move up right now, or soon, which I don't really necessarily agree with this move. I get it, he has a 5-0 blaster, he doesn't want to play that long range, but he's giving away a line. He could have potentially moved into the center cover here and have been a little bit safer. That could have been an option because that blocks off this shot, and he's tagged out. Was it the same? Just double shot? He just hits, turns, snapshots this? That's impressive if so. Nice shooting. All right, so a 1-0 lead for Paradox after the reset. You can tell it's the end of the day. Players are slowing down. Okay, we have a 2-1-2 setup versus a full spread. 1-1-1 in the backfield and one mid right for Beef Squad. Backing up is Shaggy, and you've got Brett playing way behind that cover piece too. They're gonna double up this back center piece. This is a really weird setup, and Shaggy gets tagged out in the open. I'm not the biggest fan of this setup from Paradox. I'm wondering if they're low on darts. They're trying to conserve here. B Squad now has complete control of this mid. They've got 3 players in mid, 1 on mid right and 1 back left. They also have a 1-player advantage on the field. They are rather concentrated in one spot though. So 3 players in one location. One of them does get tagged out over peeking, keeping his head up for a little bit too long perhaps. They do trade it out for Spectre. That is the risk of playing out in no man's land. They spread out. They have that full midline under control, locked out. This player on the right does sneak out a little bit too far, and Archer tries to capitalize, but is unable to. Valor's going to try and make a run here. Nobody is watching it. And he gets the trade. And they move off of that. We need to watch that again. We're going to see Valor make a move here. From here coming, and as he's making that move and focus is pulled, this player makes a move in response. And as Archer looks back that way and Brett is focusing on Valor over here, their mid player comes in to clean up and make sure that they get that tag, and they all converge on Brett afterwards. That was a nice cleanup move from Beef Squad. I like that. All right, game is tied 1-1. This round does decide the match. Aggressive move from Paradox, but also from Beef Squad. They both have their respective left mid piece under control. Beef Squad's going for an aggressive push here to take out this middle right piece, and does get it, goes for a rundown, but is tagged out after 2. So it's now a 2 versus 4. Paradox is down. B Squad. This player is pushing this. I do not like this. He's pushed farther than he should have. And that's probably going to result in him getting tagged. He has no support from his team. A teammate is attempting to rush up. But I'm going to venture a guess that what happens here is they string things out and go 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. Trying to recover after losing a player when they're up 4-2. Arshan, thanks for hanging out. I enjoyed doing this. So there is a tag on one. He's now moving. They're moving. They're all trying to converge. B Squad does get the flag, but as I said, another one gets tagged. Is this okay? And running up the flag or running up the field is Shaggy. Picks up their mid player, and Spectre picks up the other one. Was Archer still up too? Was that a 3v? Did I miss Archer? Let's watch this. You know, Archer was taken out here. And then Shaggy gets that. Shaggy comes running in to try and he gets Valor, and Spectre gets their final player. So that was a nice job taking advantage of over aggression from a team. The well done Paradox to bounce back from that player deficit. All right. Final match. We have the finals. Dauntless on the left, Kick-Ass on the right. Let's get to it. All right, off the break, we have something that we were going to try something different here. Welcome back, Ocean. I don't know if Ray and Chef are still here, but so we were going to try something different here. You can see that instead of me running up mid, I'm actually attempting to run up this side, and we're going to try and take complete control of this midline off the break. But there is a line of fire from, I think, Ian and Chef. I know Chef for sure, that's coming down this lane, and I have to stop. Because if I keep going, I'm running into darts. So I have to stop and reset, and we have to work from this piece of cover instead of my initial, position. So I got locked out there, and that was a nice kind of pre-fire. So like I almost followed a cover, and I was angry at myself for this initially. It took me a second to realize I need to not be peeking up because I blocked Adriana's shots when I stood up there. So at the break, like I stop, I was like, oh God, okay. And I'm peeking up, and you see Addie has to put her blaster down. She's stopping and she can't shoot until I drop down. So that I was like, okay, now then it clicked. I need to go low so she can stay high. But it took too long for that to happen. We did get a good shot off on Ian off of the break. I don't know if it was Addie or Randall or Ton that hit that shot. And then from there, it's just I'm going low back and forth. The rest of our team is able to work as they normally would. Kyle is super comfortable in this spot. It was me? I legit can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch my footage. I just assumed it wasn't me because I was so focused on getting back behind that cover. All right, fine. We'll watch it back. I think it's. I get one shot off. It's either me or Addie. We both get one shot off. It's one of the two of us. Or Kyle. Kyle may have actually had that line, but yeah. Regardless, I needed to be quicker at lowering myself so that Addie could get a second shot off and be more comfortable in that line. So totally lost my train of thought here. So my whole goal here is to get back to that cover because that's what was expected. But Chef is locking me down. He's got that line. I was watching darts whiz past as I'm sitting there trying to take shots. So the lockdown was effective. I'm glad we got that shot off the break to give us an extra thing though, an extra like player advantage. So we've got what, back left. Amy's back left. I know that because I missed an entire mag on her later and I was angry at myself for that. Center mid, back center, and back right is Chef. At this point, it's just trying to find something. Looks like Kyle and Ton or Kyle and Randall are able to combine and get Troa. I'm sure it was Kyle on Troa based on the angle, and Randall or Ton on Chef. At this point, we need to move up because we have telling Kyle to keep shooting his foot. Okay, so it was Kyle. That comes back to that foot thing that I've been talking about all day. It's so easy to forget you've got things hanging out, especially feet. Okay, so I move up. Eddie moves up. I not only do I miss an entire mag on Amy trying to hit her foot that's sticking out. I thought I hit her once, but I didn't. I also am shooting with the wrong hand. I'm shooting right-handed. So that's a big no-no on me. That I watched back and was like, what in the world was I doing? So thankfully me overexposing myself, taking these shots this does not get punished because it should have, but thankfully we were up 5-2 and was not punished for it. And we go one by one here. I think Kyle may have actually missed that first shot and Ton has to come in. Like we should have gone more as a team there. Round 2, we get I like that we get opposite angles here so we can focus more here on Kick-Ass's side. So off the break, we have 1-1-2 and 1 up the mid. I really would have liked to see the 2-player push from Ian and Aiden that we saw in a previous match, where they both come up and cover both angles. I really liked that start for the two of them. I think it worked well for them. But one of them going up mid. Our side tries the exact same thing this time, and thankfully there is no line of fire suppressing me, so I'm able to run the entire way. Kyle goes to his same spot, back right. No one's back center either of these rounds for us. I'm able to get in. I think there's a tag on Ian. I got there just a split second quicker. This comes into that point where if 2 of them were there, it could have been a 1-for-1 trade. Just applying more pressure on that mid line, though. We do have 3 players up on mid, so that's tough. What would I do here to counter this? Because maybe sending the 2 of them up mid isn't the right call against this. This may just be like who gets the midline first. Like, since I got there a split second faster and Kyle got there a split second faster, and there's also the fact that there's only one person in mid. He's not safe. We have 2 players on either wing and 1 player in the mid corner piece. So like, it's going to be really hard for Ian to stay safe. He has to win that first fight. And if you send 2 up there, which had worked for you in previous matches, that's 2 fights and a better chance of winning 1 potentially. Maybe that would have been the way to go. And if you have 2 of them focus one side, you could probably guarantee you're getting 1 player. So I'm slower than Kyle. So if you had sent Ian and Aiden both mid and had both players focus, left, this is also assuming you know where they're going to be. So that's tough to call as well. If you put both players on one side and say, take out that player, like that opens up a better possibility, and you can still have a 1-1-1 setup in the backfield. That could work. I know. It feels like that initial fight is important in this match. So we've got control of this midline now. Troa goes down to someone. Ton's moving up. it's, I think all 5 of us are in this line. So this is a mistake on our end. This is the round. I thought I had tagged. I thought I clipped her foot. I couldn't tell for sure. So like, it was not something I'm gonna like 100% say. It was just like a, maybe I got her, maybe I didn't. So when I saw her get up and start running back, I was like, okay, cool, I got her. And it didn't click that I didn't get her. Her blaster was just failing. Had any of us been thinking, we should have run the flag here. There's 5 of us up, 1 player left, running the flag, or running back with a broken blaster. We should have picked up the flag and just run it. Just body block, because even if she grabs another Caliburn, she has to get through 5 shots if we're body blocking appropriately. So that's what we should have done. That was a big mistake on our part. So yeah. Highly lack of practice or strats, mostly played on personal skill with some light strategy. Yeah, it's I hope that it means, if that's the case, that it means that your team will be more motivated to have more practice and more strats and things to like to run with. Because like we pulled out, we have a binder of strats that we just like have talked through and stuff like that. Because I find that stuff interesting and fun, so I kind of do it. Maybe it's overkill, but I like being prepared, because we needed to be prepared against the teams we played. Your team is dangerous. Like, we get smoked this round. So like this round, like we're up 2-0, so we know we can't let them flag cap. So we want to play aggressive. We want to play really aggressive here, and take fights and get the 3-0. But we got destroyed on the break. I remember this because like there's like 2 or 3 people down off the break. I'm down, Kyle's down, Randall's down. Like we didn't even get a chance to fight, and it's just like, okay, we need to stop the flag cap. Force fights, force fights, force fights. Addy goes up to try and get there, to try and stop them from getting the flag, which is hugely important. Ton's trying to find somewhere to get an angle, and I don't know if he just like just out of gas, because that was one of the slowest runs. I think Chef hits him here. Yeah, Addy taking this mid probably saves this match for us, and then forces the issue to get the flag. Yeah, we did, like, that was like me and Michelle, I think, were like just screaming to grab the flag. It's like we knew like that was the thing. Once we were down and just like, okay, we're the odds of us winning this round are slim. We need to stop them from getting the flag. So Addy getting to midfield was huge. And then like reminding her, go for the flag, just don't let them touch the flag, was like the hugest thing. So like we got lucky we were able to prevent you from getting the flag, because that you put hands on the flag, that opens up a lot of possibilities that we would not have wanted to deal with. So that was a close match, despite, you know, sorry, my brain just farted. Like, I feel like I've been talking so long. Like, what did I want to say? Despite what? Despite, I don't know. Point is, that was a good match. And we were, when 3 of us got tagged, I was concerned. I was very concerned. I was like, oh God, this is how it gets tied up. Force the issue. I don't know. I was just saying whatever like came to my mind that is just like, get the flag. So I was afraid if I said flag, if I yelled flag like repeatedly or something, then, you know, Kick-Ass is gonna hear it and go, we need to get the flag, and just throw someone at the flag as well. Yeah, that match had me, that round had me stressed. But I am, wow, I actually ran through all of my, how long are we streaming? Oh, 4 hours. Okay, I ran out of my playlist. Like, why is there no music playing? All right, my voice is going. It's dinner time. But this was a lot of fun to go through all of this. And I am super stoked to get to play against all of these teams again. I want a rematch with Kick-Ass. I want a rematch with Chaos. I want a rematch with Beef Squad. I want to play against Paradox. I'm playing against Space Force. Like, I want to see all these teams get, like, even better. And, like, I want our team to get even better. Oh. Your Chicago Nerf, I hope you can make it to the next one. Oh. Arshinstai. Making the game accessible is awesome. How do we do it with keeping balance intact? It's not easy. It doesn't mean we shouldn't try. That's the point I'm making. Just how do we do it right? Dude, Ragfest, dude. We're gonna go over. So the next stream will be rag footage. The next stream like this, we'll go through and we'll find some rag footage. Were there any plays in the finals that were top plays worthy? I don't think so. It was just kind of. Were there any in the top 8 that were outside of Carius's 1v4? That was it. Yeah, Michael, I 100% feel you. I'm with you on that. That is something I am looking forward to and miss so much. Trying to find my fix, and from competitive and other things is just like I want to go run around and shoot darts and tag people and have fun and have my team. Yeah, really can't wait to get on the field with all y'all again. But that said, I think it's time for dinner. Thank you everyone for hanging out. This was a good 4-hour stream going through all this footage. I'm looking forward to the next one. And trying to make this a semi-regular thing. And hopefully once games pick up again, I will have regular footage to be able to do this with from all over the world, which would be fantastic. So any leagues, any groups that have footage, I will hopefully be in contact with to try and get some of that. I love going over it. I love, like, I feel like every team should have access, or every league should have access to footage. Just why I've posted footage from all of our league events. Just because it's like I want teams to be able to prep and see what teams do, and like maybe you don't have a league around you that you can practice all the time, but you want to get a sense and a feel for it. Like, I want you to have access to my team's matches, So yeah, maybe anyone from me to cover in the round, maybe, but it's not. I wouldn't call it a top list. I think we can pull 5 from the list I have. So we'll work on that video, and then we'll do it again for rag. All right, enough talking out of me. Either go watch some Wallcom or go watch some AGDQ, because they got a few hours left, and let's see what they're at right now. They are at 2 million. They've raised $2 million in a week. That's awesome. I love it. I'm gonna go watch the rest of that. Probably pull up Wallcom on the second screen while I get dinner, and control Wallcom. Go say hi to Wallcom and enjoy his stream. I don't want to troll anybody. All right, with that said, thank you so much everybody for hanging out, for watching. Had a lot of fun doing this. Love having people to hang out with while I do it and talk about this stuff, and I'm glad people enjoy it. So yeah, with that said, I'm out of here. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.